fan, it's one of the most unique viewing experiences in all of sports. And turning laps every 16 seconds is one of the most adrenaline-filled moments an athlete could ever ask for. Nothing sits still at Bristol.
Todd Bodine still looking strong out in front of this field. Todd Bodine winning at Nashville Super Speedway.
Never give up, keep digging. Get us a little guitar.
We race to win. That's what we do every week.
Todd Bodine comes out of turn number 4. He'll go back-to-back in the Camping World Truck Series.
Boy, does Todd Bodine come into this race on a hot streak. Tucked into the hills of northeastern Tennessee, this is not just a race, it's a ritual. There have been overcast skies all day long. We are hoping the thunder does not roll, but we are in Thunder Valley. The setup, presented by Polaris, is ready to throw down. It only happens once a year. Hello, everyone. I'm Krista Voda, and welcome to our seldom used Wednesday edition of The Setup. And what a busy Wednesday it is. The modified race just wrapping up. The track hasn't even cooled yet. Ryan Newman won that race. But boy, do we have some storylines. Todd Bodine has won the last 2 truck races, but Kyle Busch is back in the field. He has won the last 2 truck races here. Andy's on the pole, but he has to go to the back after making a change following qualifying. You know, Wednesday truck races are awfully fun for us, but they are a lot of work for these crew guys. They have to turn a truck around in half the time that they normally would. We were racing just 4 days ago at Darlington. Here's a look back.
Last Saturday, the Camping World Truck Series broke a 6-year hiatus and returned to historic Darlington Raceway.
The 5th time the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is racing at the Darlington Raceway. Up to the gearbox they come. Timothy Peters out with the lead.
With a reputation as being the track too tough to tame, Southern hospitality wasn't what the lady in black had in mind.
Trouble up in turn number 2. One truck breaks loose.
Every time I touch the brake, it jerks dead left.
And around goes Jason White. Can he keep it pointed the right direction?
If he didn't blow those tires, he can go around.
Is that Almirola? In the wall. That's a Darlington stripe.
It looks like it has expired on that 23.
That doesn't sound too good.
No, not at all.
This is a long race, and you have to exercise patience.
Mario Goslin, he tags the outside ball. Forward to the wall, collecting Ricky Carmichael.
Just a wrong place at the wrong time.
That's typical RC luck right there, dude. Just can't do anything.
Sometimes it's not about what happens on the track that wins the race.
Austin Dillon is. Todd Bodine stays on the racetrack.
Everyone likely going to come and pit again, and then it will cycle through for the rookie.
Now he's gathered a track position back up. I love this strategy.
We're really close on fuel now. The Germain Tundra's really good. We don't have enough laps on our tires to come down pit road yet and give up our track position. Clean air's been really important tonight.
I'm going to disagree with Mike Hillman Jr. and say that that isn't the right call right now.
It is Justin Lofton into the outside wall and came across right in front of Mike Skinner, who had nowhere to go.
Too much done, boys. I'm coming to pit road.
The Eichler, he hits the outside wall, a mirror image of what we've seen earlier.
Austin Dillon trying to take advantage of guys staying on the racetrack and thinking that they might come in a little bit later.
Problem is that didn't work because now these guys aren't going to stop.
It would be the 30 of Todd Bodine who would tame Darlington and walk away with his 20th career Truck Series victory.
Here, boys, I'm proud of you. Way to work your butts off.
Experience pays off tonight at Darlington. Imagine that.
Bodine's lead is now 231 points over Eric Almirola. The only positions to change, Hornaday and Crafton, who flip-flop 2nd through 7th, separated by just 108 points. Almirola has lost 81 in the last 2 races, despite top 10 finishes. So Ray Dunlap, does that mean this championship is Todd Bodine's to lose?
Well, I really think it is, Kristen. You know, tonight is our 3rd race in 12 days. Todd has won the last 2. But it might be a little difficult tonight. You start deep in the field. Can you get to the front tonight and win, Todd?
Well, you know, Bristol, anything can happen. You know, I've come from the back before to finish in the top 5. Never got to the win, but anything can happen. Our Tundra is not as good as it has been the last 2 weeks, so we've got some work to do, some adjustments to make. Junior made some adjustments again after qualifying with their final adjustments, so I don't know, we'll see. We got Valvoline on the truck this week, and We took the victory lane in Texas, and we're going to try to do it again tonight.
Okay, give him a good run. That is Todd Bodine. He'll roll off 14th, and another guy was very fast today is standing by with Adam.
And that would be Timothy Peters. It's always good to have confidence when you come to a place like Bristol. Back-to-back top 5 should give you that. So what's it take here? A good truck, good strategy? What's it all about to win at Bristol?
I think all of the above, and definitely stay out of trouble, because I consider this a place where something can happen quick and you can be involved in it, and it might not be your fault. But, you know, our West Metal Cutting Tools Toyota Tundra has been good since we unloaded. Jeff Hensley making great calls. All the guys in the pits doing an awesome job. So we just hopefully we can hang on for 200 laps. We got a really good Toyota Tundra and race trim. We can be there at the end, stay out of trouble, and hopefully we can move up some more in points.
Peters starts 7th tonight, Krista.
Thanks, Adam. So how big is this race? Well, 2 years ago, Jimmy Johnson made his very first Truck Series start here. He didn't do well, but he went on to win a Cup race here in the spring. This is one of the races and places that was on his bucket list, and I'm sure that Truck Series start definitely helped. Let's go ahead and give a big thumbs up to some of our drivers from last week in Darlington. Johnny Sauter has been on a roll. In 7 of the last 11 races, he's been in the top 5, including last week at Darlington. A 4th place finish helped keep him holding on to 4th in the points. It was a great weekend for both Thor Sport trucks. Teammate Matt Crafton has finished in the top 10 in the last 6 races. What's crazy is that even with 6th place finish, Crafton fell 1 spot. 2 thumbs up for Ryan Seat. He just missed a top 10. And Jennifer Jo Cobb matched her career best 14th. She also moved up in the points.
Darlington, everybody said, oh, it's such a tough track, and you know, but and it wasn't for me, but it's because I went into it with a whole lot of respect, and my crew chief, Steve Kirkendall, is just awesome and gave us a good truck, and so we matched our best finish there, and here at Bristol, we're hoping to surprise some people and best that, and it's all about attrition and running the racetrack and not the other trucks, and I think we're climbing on up.
Hey, Elliott Sadler is back in the field for the first time since his first career truck win at Pocono last month. Sadler has never made a Truck Series start here, but he has won in both Cup and Nationwide. We'll talk to him coming up. And also still to come, we go bumper to bumper with our drivers. This week we asked them what items they'd like to have if they were deserted on an island. This should be fun. And we crack open the vault. It's a race Kevin Harvick would like to forget. Do you remember what happened off of turn 4 in 2003? Plus, another week, another rookie profile. Get to know more about Jennifer Jo Cobb. Nobody gets you closer to the action and on a Wednesday than the setup. Stick around. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. Brought to you in part by Camping World. Visit Camping World's RV sales for the largest selection of motorhomes. Ask about our low price guarantee. And by the University of Northwestern Ohio. For more information on the University of Northwestern Ohio and their programs, go to www.unoh.edu. Some call it the craziest roller coaster ride on the planet. If you ever wanted to be a fighter pilot, prepare for several G's. No wonder it's dubbed the world's fastest half mile. Big news coming out today in NASCAR. All 3 of the Premier Series releasing their schedules. There you see the dates for the 2011 Truck Series schedule. It will once again kick off in Daytona. A quick change at the start of the year. The trucks go to Phoenix for race number 2 and Darlington for race number 3. Welcome back to Bristol. 6 times this race has been won by a champion, although not necessarily in his championship year. But back in 2003, we had a little bit of foreshadowing for the title. It's a race that still to this day makes Kevin Harvick shake his head in disgust. Do you remember what happened 7 years ago? The answer in today's vault.
On August 20th in 2003, the NASCAR Truck Series went short track racing under the lights at the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway.
And they'll take the green flag for the O'Reilly 200.
And this is a place where you can really get away if you get good track position.
In a track known for its tight racing, drivers understand that anything can and will happen.
Crafton gets in the back of Terry Cook.
This is going to stack them up. Now you see what happens at Bristol.
Veteran Ted Musgrave would appear to be the early frontrunner in Bristol and would lead the race for 60 laps. But a driver known as Kevin Harvick had other plans for Bristol. On 25, Harvick would take the lead and wouldn't look back.
Harvick takes the lead. Harvick made that look easy.
That was until 2 laps to go.
The number 6 of Kevin Harvick going across the start finish, like 1 mile to go, 2 laps remaining. And as they work their way through 3 and 4, they come out of turn number 4 to see the white flag. And problems with Kevin Harvick. He's into the wall. Travis Quapple goes by the start finish line with the white flag out. Kevin Harvick is still on the racetrack. No caution has come out yet.
Travis Quapple would take the lead for the final 2 laps and take home the checkered in Bristol.
Could it be the first win of 2003? Travis Quapple comes up to the caution and the checkered flag. And so the IWX Motor Freight Chevrolet gets its first win of 2003.
It stopped my heart for a little bit there. I saw the yellow, and I thought for sure we took the white and it was going to be an official race, but these guys pull it off. They deserve it.
It would be the only win for Quapple in 2003. But it would be enough for him to eventually take home the 2003 Series Championship.
Well, Elliott Sadler would love to be one of those guys to add his name to the list of wins in all 3 divisions here. Is it possible tonight?
I think so. You know, coming off a win at Pocono, we feel like we got a lot of momentum on this KHI team, and got GT Vodka back on the truck tonight. Got us ourselves a great start position. 200 laps here at Bristol, anything can happen. We just got to save our truck, keep all the fenders on it to the end, and go after them.
You feeling okay?
I feel great, man. I feel really good.
All right, go get him. Elliott Sadler with a great qualifying effort. Now let's hear from the guy on the pole.
And that would be Kyle Busch. A good news, bad news situation for him today. Ray, you mentioned the fact that he won his 4th pole of the season earlier this afternoon. The bad news is you had to change the valve cover, which means you start in the back. So how do you manage traffic at this short track?
Yeah, it's going to be tough, you know, especially, I mean, just getting going here, guys. You know, maybe being a little too loose, maybe being looser than they want to be at the start of a race or something, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a really good race truck. The NASCAR.com race view Toyota Tundra is pretty awesome. So it was good in race trim. Hopefully we'll have a good enough truck where we can drive up through everybody, get up towards the front. I know we have a pit stop, so we'll see what happens there too. And, you know, it all comes down to track position most of the time, but we ain't got it to start with, so we got to find it.
If Kyle Busch makes it 3 in a row tonight, Krista, it's going to be dramatic.
Yes, it will. I was just thinking that, Adam. Talk about an advertisement to stay tuned to this race. Watching Kyle Busch work his way up through traffic, that should be good. Well, Rick Allen, Phil Parsons, and Michael Waltrip have seen and been a part of so many races here, but I know you 3 are always impressed every single time we come back here.
Most definitely, and I'm guessing that the boos you're hearing in the background is because they just introduced Kyle Busch. But
it wasn't for us?
I don't think so,
Good.
even though we were just introduced. But Kyle Busch has to go to the back because of changes. Do you think he can still win this race and make it 3 in a row here?
Well, I do. Even though this race has never been won from farther back than 12th, I do think he can win this race. Number 1, he's got a great truck. And it may take a little bit of extra pit strategy. You know, the last 2 years here, he's pitted somewhere between 35 and 45 and then not come in again. He got his track position then. It may take a little scrambling by Eric Phillips and his team to get that truck up front and keep it up front.
And I think that Kyle Busch not only can win this race, he's still my favorite. He's got the fastest truck. He's set on the pole. Obviously, 2 wins in a row. He knows what to do here. But I don't think there's a clear-cut path to victory lane as far as these crew chiefs are concerned along pit road. Do you pit at lap 30 or 40 and be done for tonight? Or do you get tires again with 50 or 60 to go and see if that's how you're going to win? There's really not a clear way to get to victory lane, and so Kyle Busch is going to mix things up from the back, and it's going to be so much fun to watch. We got the fastest truck in the back.
And remember now, the reason being that most of the winners come from up front is they're the best trucks. He was on the pole, so he has a good truck.
That's a pretty good point there, Phil.
Yeah.
That's cutting-edge stuff right there.
Well, and Krista, I think Adam used the word dramatic. We'll see how dramatic it is tonight with Kyle Busch coming from the back.
It'll be incredible. Yeah, 8 of the 12 races here have been won, not from a top 10 starting position, a top 3 starting position. That is incredible. It's going to be a race of survival. Well, on a lighter note, we wanted to ask about a different sort of survival. We asked our drivers, what items would you want with you if you were on a deserted island? That's the question in this week's Bumper to Bumper.
Water, canoe, and an oar. Angie, Tundra, and a big old bottle of Altamira wine.
Take a gun, for one. You know, you can hunt with that. And probably take a pretty girl, and then MacGyver, because he could get us off the island.
Go take my wife.
Gonna have to have water, because I don't know how to find water in them trees. Sirius radio, I guess, so you can listen to NASCAR racing.
Oh, that's simple. My wife and my 2 kids.
A radio or iPod, something to listen to some music. Take an unlimited supply of Coors Light and suntan lotion.
Probably for sure my iPod. I had to take my wife. A toothbrush. Take my mountain bike, my dog, and some food.
Well, you'd have to take food. I'd have to take
my iPod. Gotta be able to listen to my songs. And I guess I'll take my girlfriend. Girlfriend? I guess food and a gun. What else is there, right? I was gonna say a girl, but I'm like, oh, she might watch this. They'll see me the next race that they do show this. I'll have a black eye. What happened? Oh, remember the island?
Saying how glad I was that they were almost saying their wives and girlfriends. Eric Almirola laughing there. He will soon have a wife, one of our engaged drivers. He finished 6th here last year. He received some big news this week. He signed a deal with Junior Motorsports to drive the number 88 car in the Nationwide Series next year. You can bet Junior will be watching him, and one of his former employees, Brad Keselowski, is in this race as well. We will talk to him. More of the setup when we return from Bristol, the world's fastest half mile on speed. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. And brought to you in part by Edge Products, the leader in performance electronics. And by the University of Northwestern Ohio. For more info on the University of Northwestern Ohio and their programs, log on to www.unoh.edu. Well, to truly appreciate this racetrack, you need to be here in person. But if you can't get a ticket to Bristol, we've got the next best thing. We are giving you a track walk. Right now, I am walking up the banking of Turn 1. This banking is progressive. It gets all the way up to 30 degrees. Now, last year, I actually have done this the last few years. Someone told me I was crazy because I did it in high heels. This year, I have much more sensible shoes, and we are taking this thing hardcore. We are going all the way up to the top of the banking here at Bristol. The fans are ready for an amazing truck race. And yes, I just hit the safer barriers. We're at the very top. This is the view trucks will have if they are racing the High Line. Do not adjust your television. It's a Wednesday night special edition of the setup. We are racing on a Wednesday, the perfect way to get over your midweek blues. Each week we've been giving you a profile on a rookie, and tonight, someone special, someone who is proving that she belongs. Yes, this is her story beyond the stripe.
Ultimately, I've said it since I was 8 years old, I want to race at the cup level. And I've made no bones about that, you know, and I say that, and I open the door to being laughed at again, and I say, bring it on. I love the truck series. I always want to be part of the Camping World Truck Series, but I also want to push us. But I don't want to jump in there until I'm ready. And as ready as I think I'm going to be, I know once I get there it's going to be a whole nother world that you have to start all over and learn again, but I'm prepared for that. So ultimately, within the next couple of years, I would like to be at least some part of all 3 of NASCAR's top series, Sprint Cup, Nationwide, NASCAR Camping World Trucks, and competitive, not just running around. I think the thing that I'm most proud of this year is our team. We have basically 4 full-time guys, and Mike Harmon oversees the operation for me, and Mike knows what it's like to be an underdog. I told everyone, don't expect us to set the world on fire. We're going to go out there and race. We're going to do the best we can, and as long as we're getting better each and every week, then that's all we can ask for. Eventually we will win. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, but eventually that is what we're working toward. That's one of my biggest goals, is just to do the seemingly impossible. I'm a motivational speaker on the side that just kind of came out of being knocked down so many times and having to get back up and the things I've had to learn, and I enjoy sharing that with others. So my goals for this year are to be an inspiration to a lot of people who've been laughed at, a lot of people who've been told it's impossible. One thing I say about female drivers, by the time they get to this level, they're pretty used to being a minority out there. And so it's no different, but as long as you show respect, especially on the racetrack, it's amazing the amount of respect that you get in return. I had one of our very top competitors look at me and point to me in front of a group of other drivers and say, "You're doing awesome." And I was like, oh, he's talking to me. You know, so it's been a wonderful year.
Jennifer Jo Cobb currently sitting 16th in points. She is excited to be here at Bristol. She starts 32nd tonight. Another driver we have in the field, a crowd favorite, Brad Keselowski. He's standing by with AA.
And Krista, he is no stranger to success when it comes to the NASCAR Nationwide Series here at Thunder Valley, but the truck's a whole different deal. So how special would it be to take this truck that you built to victory lane at this awesome place?
Oh, it'd be great. This is running Triple Do this week because this place is worth it. It's that awesome. I love coming to Bristol. Got great race cars and a great truck today. So pretty excited about it. Got Ruby Tuesday and Miller Lite to come on board. Would love to celebrate at Ruby Tuesday with the Miller Lite with the trophy sitting next to us. So I think we got a shot at it.
Brad was good in both practice sessions. He starts 6th tonight. Krista?
Brad has been to victory lane here, winning the nationwide race in 2008. Someone else we haven't even mentioned, Ron Hornaday. He and Kyle Busch, the only two to have 2 wins here at Bristol. More to come. It's a big triple header weekend here in Bristol. Race day gets you ready Saturday evening. They'll have Michigan winner Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, and Clint Boyer on the show. There's not many tickets left. There are a precious few. You can log on to www.bristolmotorspeedway.com and come join us here at the racetrack. And I'm still standing up on the racetrack. The drivers will be sideways tonight. The big boys have 3 races before their chase. Our chase starts right now on Speed.
In a valley that shakes down thunder. This is a concrete coliseum where gladiators collide. From flag to flag, the high banks of Bristol never disappoint. To the victor, the spoils. To everyone else, better luck next time.
We're in Bristol, Tennessee, the home of Bristol Motor Speedway. Welcome to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series O'Reilly 200 on Speed. Yes, Kyle Busch is back in the field tonight. He's won this race 2 previous times, and today earlier he won the pole. But because of changes, he'll have to start in the back of the field. No one's ever won this race starting further back than 12th. So we're going to watch and see if Kyle is able to accomplish the triple here at Bristol. Ray Dunlap, what else are we going to have to watch for?
Well, Rick, I think you got to watch for the 29 down here on pit road. Brad Keselowski has a brand new truck this weekend. They've got great sponsorship from Ruby Tuesdays and Miller Lite, but this is a truck that they've been working on for a long time, and with only 3 full-time guys in the shop, it takes an awful lot of effort. Brad does this just because he loves it. They have a nickname for this truck. It's called Killer, and he said if it gets to victory lane, he'll tell us the rest of the story behind that name. Adam?
And starting to Brad Keselowski's left will be a veteran, Ron Hornaday, a driver who knows what it's like to be successful on short tracks. 21 times he's won on these types of tracks, including 2 here at Bristol, 1997 and 1998. But driver 33 has led only 1 lap since that win back in 98. We'll see if this 4-time champion can rekindle the magic tonight here at Thunder Valley. Rick?
Thank you, Adam and Ray. Great stuff from down on pit road. We always look at Bristol Motor Speedway as a hurdle that someone will have to overcome. Well, right now, Todd Bodine has a huge point lead over the rest of the field as he's going for his 2nd Camping World Truck Series championship. And this big hurdle might be the last one he'll have to overcome on his way to that championship. Hornaday has won here twice. He's back in the field as far as points go. So a difficult row to hoe for him if he wants to claim his 5th championship. Young guys like Eric Almirola and Timothy Peters are doing well in the points, but Todd Bodine will have to falter if anyone has a chance to win the title in 2010 other than Todd Bodine. We're going to head trackside for tonight's pre-race ceremonies with our invocation and our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your hats for the presentation of colors by the Dobyns-Bennett High School Air Force Junior ROTC, and remain standing for tonight's invocation by Bud Beverly, the lead pastor of the Harvest Community Church in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for an exciting night of racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. I know that every single individual here tonight is someone who you love and is of immeasurable value to you. I pray now, Lord, that you will protect and keep safe the drivers, the crews, and the fans as we enjoy a night of racing. In Jesus' name, amen.
And ladies and gentlemen, would you please place your hand upon your heart as Eddie Shelton of Bristol, Virginia sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Final words of encouragement from the crew and significant others as the drivers are about to climb into their trucks. Great crowd on hand here tonight at Bristol. Who will win in Thunder Valley? Can Kyle Busch come from the back to make it 3 in a row at this half-mile bull ring? You got to stick around. We'll fire the engines next. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World. Visit Camping World's RV sales for the best selection of motorhomes. Ask about our low price guarantee. By Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And by Herculiner Truck Bed Liners. With Herculiner, the tough comes easy. Welcome back to the world's fastest half mile. Now we go back trackside for our Polaris 3 setup with Chris DeVota.
All right, thanks, Rick. Tons of storylines tonight on this midweek special. We found a theme of threes, a triple, if you will. Keep your eye on Kyle Busch. He is going for 3 in a row. He has won the last 2 truck races here, going for 3 in a row. He is also one of 3 drivers running the triple this weekend. Kyle, Brad Keselowski, and Elliott Sadler. And the number 3 truck has had an interesting day. In practice earlier today, Austin Dillon hit the barrels that sit right in front of pit entry on the backstretch coming out of turn 2. The front end of that truck, there you see it, it was tore up. The crew began thrashing, and I just walked by that truck, talked to the guys. You would not even know that's the same truck. I actually said, that's a different truck, and they said, nope, we worked on that thing all day long. This is going to be a great race. Nothing like a Wednesday special. You know, this is our chase. 10 to go. Our chase starts right now. We have familiar faces and some new names in the field tonight. The Truck Series was built for this night.
And more news. Thank you, Krista. Our 2011 truck schedule has been released. see that right there are 24 sites or 24 venues that we will be going to, and they are saying that they're looking for a 25th race, which we've had for the past 8 years.
Yeah, great schedule. Obviously, all the big races, Daytona, Talladega, come back here to Bristol. What a terrific schedule.
I love going to Phoenix in the spring, too. That'll be a cool race.
Should be a lot of fun. Now let's get the engines fired up. We go down for the command.
Race fans, for the words we've all been waiting for, the Grand Marshal of the O'Reilly Auto Parts 200 presented by Valvoline, Mr. Richard Jones.
Drivers, start your engines.
The trucks have come to life. The drivers are strapped in. When we come back, the green flag will fly. Welcome back to the O'Reilly 200 from Bristol Motor Speedway. It's race 16 for the Camping World Truck Series. 77 degrees out, overcast skies. The bad stuff has been going north of us, so we're hoping that it stays away for the entire race. Our starting grid will roll across the bottom of the screen. Kyle Busch has won the pole. James Busher was supposed to start on the outside of him, but Kyle Busch made some adjustments after qualifying. He goes to the back. We take a look at our ZMAX track description.
Yeah, what a great racetrack. It was reconfigured back in 2007. Now it's progressive banking, 26 degrees on the bottom, 30 degrees on the top of the racetrack, Michael, and it's pure speed here, baby.
You used to just run into people if they were in your way because there was only one groove here. Now you can run at the bottom and have success, or the top. So the drivers have a lot of options when they get to the turns.
And one of the options is to run into people. The Royal Purple Race Analysis gives us a couple other options, I'm sure.
Well, you can pit.
Yeah.
Our pit window, if they went green all the way, is about 140 or 50 laps. Remember, the last couple years, this race was won by pitting early, getting in your window, then staying on the racetrack.
Going to shine a spotlight on a few different drivers in our speed spotlight. We begin with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Rick, it's an interesting idea to make your first ever start in the Camping World Truck Series right at this racetrack. But for John King, it was a no-brainer. He comes from Kingsport, which is right up the road. He's been running dirt races all over. But last week, the news got out that he was going to be here tonight. And guess what? His phone started ringing. About 400 of his friends are in the audience right now. They're going to be rooting for truck number 46. Adam?
And there will be plenty of support tonight as well for Jake the Snake Crum. He starts in the 13th position, also making his NASCAR truck debut. He's 18 years old from Statesville, North Carolina. He's made a pair of starts this year in the K&N Pro Series East Division, and he hopes a good run here tonight will set him up to get back in the truck in Martinsville, and he hopes all that experience can set him up to run for Rookie of the Year in 2011. Phil?
Adam, 27-year-old Brazilian Miguel Paludo will make his debut here tonight in the Stemco Duraline Toyota. Stemco Duraline makes wheel products and brake linings for heavy-duty vehicles and equipment. Miguel is a two-time champ of the Brazilian Porsche Cup. He's run some K&N Pro Series East races this year with a best finish of 9th at Lime Rock, Connecticut. He will start his Toyota out of the Germain Racing Stable in 23rd spot.
We got all these guys making their first start, and I want to shine mine on Jarrett Johnson. Racers ask me all the time, how do I get to NASCAR? My answer, it's quite simple. Whatever you race, you gotta win. And that's exactly what this JJ has been doing. Since starting in late models in 2001, he's won races, he's won Rookie of the Year honors, and he's won tracks championships. Those successes has led him to his nationwide debut in 07, and tonight he's starting the number 01 Coma Chevy off the 35th spot in his debut.
We're about to go racing, and we want to ride along with a few different drivers, one of those being Kyle Busch with his Toyota on board. He will, well, he qualified first, but will start from the back. Ron Hornaday a little bit closer to the front. He starts in the 5th position and will carry one of our cameras. He's won at this racetrack twice. And Elliott Sadler coming off of his win at Pocono, back behind the wheel of a Chevrolet here in the Camping World Truck Series. He'll carry one of our cameras around Bristol Motor Speedway.
As a race car driver, there's nothing more thrilling than coming to the green at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Pace truck is off the racetrack now. The field is in the hands of Elliott Sadler and James Busher. Green flag in the air, we're underway. Hornaday right behind Elliott Sadler in that bright orange number 33. James Busher trying to find a way to get back down.
James has clearance right now. He can pull down to the bottom of the racetrack if he so chooses.
Great start by James.
Side by side, a little contact behind him for fourth.
Brad Keselowski on the outside in the 29 truck, the 13 of Johnny Sauter. Brad has that spot for now. Now Timothy Peters side by side with Sauter.
Keselowski was up high, and it looked as though the 29 got hit by the 17 as they were going through 1 and 2.
They're all going to hit each other, I think, at some point tonight, Rick. This place is so tight. You could see James Busher, though. There's options there. He slides up to the middle of the track, is able to hold off Hornaday. Hornaday wants the bottom, but James finds the running okay up top.
Busher still trying to hold on to that position. We see Kyle Busch making his way up toward the front on the left side of your screen.
He's not going to waste a whole lot of time trying to get by as many trucks as he can.
Hornaday sideways off the fourth turn. Couldn't control that time truck. About spun out.
Busher able to hang on to second. Hornaday is third. Right behind him, that's Keselowski in the 29 in fourth. Kyle Busch is 25th. You can almost see that clicker on the bottom of that screen.
Gets a little loose himself. You see when he dove in on the outside, the thing got sideways. So Kyle's just going where they're not. You can see he went high to get around Sieg and now to the inside of Brett Raymer, and he's making that work.
We mentioned at the beginning of the show, no one's ever started further back than 12th and ended up winning this race. That was Travis Guapel back in 2003, and he really shouldn't have won the race because Kevin Harvick dominated the race and blew a tire on the second to last lap.
There goes Keselowski to the inside of Hornaday in a battle for the third spot.
Well, you know, Hornaday was really aggressive. He was all over James Busher, got to the inside of him, but when they came off turn 4 there, Phil, Ron about lost that truck, and now he's lost ground to Busher. He's falling into a battle here with Brad Keselowski. This time he's up on top of Keselowski.
Keselowski tries to save it. He keeps it going the right direction.
No caution.
And we stay green.
What a nice save by Brad Keselowski. There aren't that many people that would have saved that truck without hitting the inside wall.
You just see everything he did. He gave it a little bit of gas. He gave it some brake, but then he didn't commit to anything. He got off the brake and got the thing headed in the right direction. But I'm afraid he's flat spotted his tires. Yeah, he's going to have a flat.
Oh, and almost around.
Got into John King in the 46 truck that Ray was telling us about.
Take another look.
This is when Hornaday about loses it. He's on the inside of James Busher. Keselowski's going to have to pit, but he's on the inside of James Busher. And look, he gets as sideways as you want to get at Bristol. The thing's out of control. He was able to save it, but then Brad.
Watch Brad now. He's going to basically spin out here. You see him get a little bit loose. He thought the thing would catch it, finally didn't. But watch it. Watch the rear tires. He lets off the brake and the truck turns and straightens right out.
But you could see how long that right front tire slid, Phil, and I think it burnt right through the rubber. He's on pit road right now. He's got a flat tire. Will he keep rolling on through? I think he does.
The caution has come out. This is for debris in turn number 2, and Brad Keselowski on pit road.
He has a right front flat tire, but he came off pit road, Rick. He had a stop. He would have lost 2 or 3 laps. This way, he's only going to be 1 down, Phil, I believe, and put himself in a position to wind up with the Aaron's lucky dog at some point.
Yeah, that's a huge break for Brad Keselowski. I think we're too early. We're only 12 laps complete right now. Too early for these guys to get in their window. I mean, Brad's obviously going to have to stop to replace the right side tires, at least probably 4 tires for that truck.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, and the right side fender is crushed in, and Brad knew that. He said, I don't want to tear this thing up. We still have a chance. Remember, with the lucky dog and the way it all works out, he's not out of this for sure. They're going to go ahead and put right side tires on it, but it's important to get that right front fender pulled off. So far right now, I'm not sure, guys, was pit road even open?
No, but it doesn't matter. He just needs to get the fender fixed and get his truck tuned up and get back into this battle, Ray. And that's exactly what the team's doing, as you called it. They're all over that right front fender. He got a lot of damage over there when he ran into the side of Hornaday trying to grab that spot. I don't know, Phil, if they can just pull that out and it'd stay out there. It looks kind of flimsy.
That's what it looks like. It looks like it's not staying when they try to pull it out. That will put Brad at least 2 laps down here.
So again, we're under caution because of the debris, but here is the problem Keselowski had to overcome. Slid sideways, straightened it back out. They stayed green, but debris on the racetrack brought out our first caution. And welcome back to Thunder Valley. About ready to restart as the pace truck has made its way back onto pit road. Elliott Sadler still leading the field. He restarts on the outside of row 1. Busher on the inside. Green flag back in the air.
I like Elliott Sadler starting on the outside.
Whoa, he's got problems. Slows on the restart. Busher goes by. Timothy Peters goes by. They battle for the lead going down the backstretch.
Okay, never mind that.
I'm not sure what happened to Elliott Sadler. Looks like he just stopped when he got down in turn number 1.
He's got her wound up now. Look at him around the outside.
Bounces off the wall.
But he got around Hornaday. He's got her going again. Maybe that thing stumbled a little bit. The carburetor didn't come up to a speed quite right. Adam, did you hear?
He just came on the radio, Michael, after getting out of traffic and said, I could not get it in 4th gear. I could not get it in 4th gear. Keep your eye on the number 2.
Well, I liked him picking the outside. We saw what happened to Brad Keselowski.
Problems in turn number 1. Austin Dillon's involved.
Donnie Lee, I think the 07 goes around.
Get turned around here as quick as you can.
Chris Jones just maybe skint the. You see the right front damage to Austin Dillon's truck.
That's a lot of damage on that truck.
Right.
There's 2 other trucks that were involved down there. Austin Dillon being one of them. Bringing out our 2nd caution.
There's Grandpa Richard Childress overseeing the event here. Austin got squeezed.
This started way back here at almost at the start-finish line. You see the 07 of Donnie Leah forces the 21 of Jake Crum into the outside wall. Then it turns Donnie sideways. Austin, with nowhere to go, makes contact. Look at Ty Bodine, our point leader, just get by the 3 of Austin Dillon.
Oh, and then Austin gets hit again.
That's Chris Jones, the 87, just knocks that front fascia off.
Now watch this. Donnie Leah just does not give Crum any room at all. Squeezes him in the outside wall, and watch how hard Austin hits him. Boom.
Straightens it back out.
I'm not sure that maybe Donnie Leah didn't receive the least amount of damage of all the trucks, and he's the one that caused that mess.
And Donnie Leah and Jake Crum are teammates at S&S Greenlight Racing.
Things happen fast around this racetrack.
Kyle Busch, you heard him grab 3rd gear even before he got to turn number 1.
He wanted to make sure he had plenty of options, get that thing down on a lower gear, and if he needs to make a move in a hurry, he would have the power to do it. I love that move by Kyle Busch.
Here's Donnie, just squeezes Jake up into the outside wall. Jake could not have gone any higher.
Well, you're right.
He could have got on top of the wall, I guess. So maybe he could have gone a little higher.
Look at these guys doing a great job. We heard Kyle Busch downshifting. Ty Bodine just snaking his way through. Chris Jones down on the bottom just couldn't seeming like get his truck over to the left far enough, and added insult to injury by hitting Austin Dillon again.
Danny Stockman, the crew chief for Austin Dillon. Those guys have worked extremely hard on the front of this truck already today, and it looks like they're going to have to go back to work, right?
Well, and that's part of the concern, Rick. Whenever you have those repairs like they did earlier today, sometimes you got to use duct tape and all kinds of different things. So they're not sure what kind of damage they're going to face here. But in order to try to stay on the lead lap, they're going to do double pit stops. As they come in this time, they'll work just on the right side. They'll not put any fuel in it. And Austin now sees his sign, pulls in. There's a good bit of fender missing on the right front. On the nose piece is completely gone there. Now, the other thing is the input for the brakes may have to be removed. So they're talking it over on the radio, making a track bar adjustment, going up 1.5 rounds there. No fuel this time, right side work only. They'll come back to work on the left side after they go around, but they got to stay on the lead lap.
Remember, Austin has a string of 8 top 10 finishes in a row coming into this race here.
I don't believe he's going to be able to have another one, Phil. That thing's tore up pretty good. That restart, Elliott Sadler took the top side, and we saw the trouble that guys were having trying to make passes down on the bottom. Even Brad Keselowski spinning out. So I like the choice here. Gets a great start, but he said he just couldn't get it in the 4th.
There's 3rd gear. He's fine in 3rd, but cannot get it in the 4th gear right there.
Right there. He was trying to grab 4th. It wouldn't go in. And look, that's how competitive this thing is. One little bobble, and 3 trucks were all the way around him.
But what a heads-up move by Timothy Peters and James Busher to get by him without making contact. Obviously, some debris still on the racetrack over there on the backstretch.
The tough part for Austin Dillon and that 3 team is getting all these repairs made, because you spend so much time at pit road speed driving the pit roads, and you have very little time to work on your truck.
So the debris, they will get that off of the racetrack. How about Kyle Busch?
How about that crowd?
Yeah, great crowd on hand here in Bristol, Tennessee. Kyle Busch has gone from starting in the 35th position all the way up to 13th. Impressive for young Kyle Busch. This time it's Timothy Peters that will bring the field back to the green flag as we restart here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Timothy chooses the outside as well. He is able to grab that lead, or keep the lead, I should say. Ron Hornaday is going to come with him from the outside.
Trying to take the spot away from James Busher in that 31. Busher down on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Mike Skinner in the 5.
Looked like Elliott Sadler didn't have any trouble that time getting his truck up to speed. So whatever's wrong with it, he was able to figure out how to deal with it.
And you know he was ready for it too. Make sure he got that thing down in 4th gear.
Smoking coming out of the 23 of Jason White. Looks like an engine may have expired.
He's had 2 engine failures in the last 2 races, 2 in a row. He's had trouble under the hood of that number 23 truck. 10th in the points. These blows have really dashed his chances of a solid season.
And fluid on the racetrack is going to bring out our 3rd caution of the night.
You know, a year ago here, Phil, Jason led the most laps at Bristol. Big night for he and his team, and he was looking to have the same type of result tonight. But a couple of engine failures at Nashville and Darlington, and now another one here tonight.
Yeah, 3 in a row. That is incredible, and we really don't see that many engine failures in this series.
And so a difficult night for Jason White. Timothy Peters out in front of the field. Hornaday has moved to 2nd. Be the biggest racing fan you can be with Verizon Championship Racing at the track and on your phone. From nationwide and IndyCar driver meet and greets to exclusive peeks inside the Penske garage right on your VCAS phone. We are your hard card to racing nirvana. Only from the network with the most 3G coverage, Verizon. A few trucks making their way onto pit road. And for that update, I want to talk a little bit about it. The 30 of Todd Bodine.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter, the 13 was right. He was actually the first truck in line coming in. Adam, what did the 13 do down there?
4 tires, fuel, and an adjustment. He was a little loose end, so they got their fuel at lap 32, and now we will wait and see if, in fact, they are done for the night, Phil.
This is getting interesting, Phil, whether these guys, maybe the 18 was in, the 30, the 13, we said these guys all pitted. Will they come back to pit road, or are they done? That could be it for tonight.
18 also came on pit road, Ray.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just down here checking with Eric Phillips and Richie Waters to find out about strategies on these teams. Richie said for sure they're a one-stop strategy. I asked him how many laps of caution do you need? He said a bunch. He wouldn't give me a number. I just asked Eric Phillips. He said their fuel mileage has been great.
And
they've pitted for last time tonight.
Green flag back in the air. Timothy Peters with another great start, but here comes Ron Hornaday. Challenging on the inside. Now to the outside goes the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Man, when those guys squeeze you down from the top like that, Phil, it's really, really a handful. Watch James Busher. He's going to get on the inside of Skinner, but can he hold on down there?
How about Hornaday squeezing Skinner up?
Oh, problems for the 10 of Jennifer Jo Cobb. It looks as though the 18 of Kyle Busch maybe got into the 10. So Jennifer Jo Cobb spins on the front stretch, and that brings out our 4th caution.
She drives away, though. Didn't get a lot of damage to that 10 truck. She's done such a good job this year, just keeping her nose clean, making laps, got her career best finish last week at Darlington, and I know how much she was looking forward to racing here at Bristol. See what happens here. Kyle Busch dives in on her, gives her a little bit of a shove.
You know, he's wanting to go. He sees Todd Bodine, he sees Johnny Sauter going, just gets in the back of her, coming off turn 4 and around she goes. She does a nice job. I think she absolutely missed the inside wall. Gonna get another view here.
How many times in the history of Bristol, Phil, have you been backwards and spinning around and don't collect that inside wall? Usually you're going to drive straight into it. She did a great job of hanging on, keeping that truck out of the wall.
It's the second time we've seen that tonight. Remember Brad Keselowski the same way. Brad didn't actually fully spin. He just got that truck completely sideways and straightened it out and went on.
Kyle was trying to move up through after making his pit stop and just a little over anxious there, I think, and got into the back of Jennifer. Oh, here comes some more leaders to pit road.
Timothy Peters brings Ron Hornaday, and it looks like the rest of the trucks that didn't come to pit road the first time.
With the exception of Mike Skinner. Mike Skinner stays on the racetrack. Max Pappas stays on the racetrack.
So Timothy Peters has been out front for 20 laps. Elliott Sadler led the other 17 laps. Elliott Sadler also on pit road now.
Those guys lined up running bumper to bumper, all of them at pit road speed. They got to maintain that pit road speed from the time they enter the pit over there off turn 2. It's a long trip around. Adam, here they come.
Timothy Peters got the call from Jeff Hensley as soon as pit road opened. Get in here. They will do 4 tires on that 17 truck. You see it at the turn 4 into pit road. 5 pit stalls in front of him. And Ron Hornaday, he too will get 4 tires and fuel at lap 38 to Ray Dunlap.
Volunteer Chevrolet on the hood of this number 31 this week, and James Busher said no adjustments for him. Very happy with the way it's going. They had a little trouble getting the jack up on the left side. They'll hang all these tires, but Busher is going to lose 4 or 5 spots sitting here in the pits.
Under caution, they have to make the entire way around pit road. You can't just come on your side of pit road and stop.
It's painful too, Rick. It's a long trip around there, and especially look who's getting a lucky dog. He's 2 down, but he's getting one of them back right now. I didn't know that he could ever get 2 lucky dogs here at Bristol as fast as you can go a lap down, but these quick cautions has put Brad Keselowski in a position to get both his laps back.
Only 2 trucks off the racetrack, Garvey and White. Keselowski 1 lap down now here in Bristol. Hey race fans, Sunoco's free fuel 5,000's back. Just get your Sunoco decal, put it on your car, get spotted and win. We got spotters visiting every participating Sunoco, and if we see you with it while you're there filling up, you'll win one of thousands of instant prizes and a shot at the grand prize, 5,000 gallons of Sunoco fuel. For more information, go to GoSunoco.com.
Could you imagine if somebody told you just won 5,000 gallons of gasoline?
I think I'd smile.
That'd be a pretty good day, wouldn't it?
I would be very happy. How about Mike Skinner? He should be happy. He's out front of this field as the green flag comes back out.
Well, the front of this field has a little bit of a different look right now.
Skinner's going to drive way away from these guys. I bet you've got some cats that aren't used to being up at the front. Max Pappas hasn't run a lot at the front of these fields. Chris Jones, same thing.
But Carl Long in the 00. There's John King in the 46.
John ever start in his debut. I think Bill Elliott's up on top spot for John King, so I know he's getting a lot of good advice. Oh, contact.
Around they go
into the 6.
Turn number 1. The 6 driven by Clay Greenfield.
Austin Dillon makes a little bit of contact with the left front of that truck now.
You know, he's having a lot of problems with the front of that truck today. It started with those yellow barrels right there he just passed. Then he got involved in an accident that certainly wasn't any of his making.
He's coming to pit road. He's not going to have a whole lot of time to do anything. The field's already coming off turn 2.
I think he's changed his mind. He's going to go back up on the racetrack.
If we need it. It doesn't look like we need it. Just check it out here. He's coming to us right now.
Take another look.
There's Dennis Setzer on the inside. He slides up the racetrack a little bit, gets a little bit loose, has to chase it, gets in the left rear quarter panel of the 6 of Clay Greenfield.
Clay had gotten an Aaron's lucky dog earlier. Look at Austin Dillon. He just locked the brakes down and it slid right into Greenfield. See Setzer, he's trying to work the bottom. We've seen already tonight how hard that is. And Dennis, if he can't do it, you know it's hard because he's one of the best short track racers in the world.
There's Johnny Sauter right there. We're going to follow right along with Kyle Busch.
Kyle to the outside of that mess.
Wow. I bet Kyle thought, well, it's a pretty good time to dive to the outside right there. They all reckon on the bottom of me. Watch this move he makes around the top. See him duck to the right.
He goes way on their outside of Johnny Sauter. Johnny had to slow down for Clay Greenfield, who spun right in front of him, and Kyle just drove by on the outside.
Looked like there was a little bit of contact.
And how about back on the lead lap, Brad Keselowski?
Would you have ever dreamed that after 44 laps he would be back on the lead lap?
Keselowski gets 2 laps back. He's on the lead lap. That means we've got 34. Friday Thunder Valley is rocking, the biggest party in NASCAR. From the world's fastest half mile, don't miss NASCAR Trackside from Bristol Friday night, 11 Eastern, only on Speed.
Hey, it's going to be great to see Larry Pearson on trackside. Remember, Larry had that horrendous wreck in the race that I was actually in, the Legend race here in the spring, and it's good to see him. I think he's on crutches, but up and around now, and it'll be great to see him on trackside.
Certainly will.
A lot of speed, yeah.
That was a scary wreck.
Big hit. Coming back to the green flag, Mike Skinner, Max Pappas, 1 and 2. Green flag back out.
Like Skinner didn't get a real clean start for some reason. Max was able to drive up on the inside of him. Skinner clears Max now, though.
Great announcement that heavy traffic. Look at Hornaday in the middle of 3 wide. Look at Timothy Peters on the outside. Max will run a full season for Germain Racing in Geico next year here in the Camping World Truck Series.
Hornaday trying to sort it out in that orange number 33, the tie truck. He's going up the racetrack again. Hornaday's having problems in the 33.
You think maybe he had some buildup on his tires, Michael?
He got in a bind. He was in the middle of 4 wide field. We've run 50 laps now. And do you know that we finally ran as many green flags as we had yellow? It is 25 and 25. And this is really helping guys like Kyle Busch, who made that pit stop very early. He's going to be okay on gas mileage now, I think, because of all the early caution laps.
Are we going to rewrite the record books tonight as far as starting? Well, Kyle Busch will be recorded as starting first.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Had the pull. There's Todd Bodine, point leader on the inside.
Oh, we got a spin. Hornaday loses control of his truck.
Hornaday into the inside wall on the backstretch.
Minimal contact, though.
Caution is out for Hornaday.
We got the nose. I don't know how bad.
Sixth caution of the night.
It looked like he had some sort of a problem.
Early on, he was not, it didn't look like he was comfortable in that truck. And he got sideways a few times in the turns, just in the wrong position.
A lot of times when you're on the racetrack with hot tires, you pick up a lot of the rubber and the debris, and it takes a while to get that stuff off the tires, but it looked like his truck never came around.
It looks like minimal damage to the front of that truck. Let's look back a lap before this accident and see if we can see what all happened to Ron.
There he goes. This is when he gets loose right there, has to chase it up the hill. David Starr gives him a break and didn't make it 3 wide. And there he is on the inside of the, oh, he makes contact with Mario Gosselin. That's what happened. That's why he went around.
Ron just went up the racetrack a little bit high. Mario Gosselin was there.
That's the 3rd truck we've seen spin, just trying to run underneath of another truck. You can see his truck gets a little bit high. Oh, there's the contact, and around he goes.
And that little touch was all it took to turn that nose of that truck to the left and spin him out.
He'll come to pit road and work on the front of that number 33 Tide Chevy, but I don't believe there's enough damage there that'll hamper him a great deal. His fender isn't tore up, obviously, anything like Austin Dillon, so maybe they can just pull on that thing a little bit and put some new tires on it, and he can go back to action.
The Buddy Hermie Sadler right in front of Ron Hornaday.
Already 6 cautions in this race.
That's how many we had all race last year.
Yeah. Well, it's time to take a closer look into the camping experience with Camping World's Destination Recreation.
It's Camping World's Destination Recreation.
Camping World Tow Centers of America offers a full line of hitching and towing equipment, plus they have Goodyear tires. And believe it or not, they've installed over 10,000 hitches over the years, so you know you're going to get professional service. And between July 24th and August 17th, they're offering 50% off of all installations. Now, whether you need an extra set of brakes or whether you want to put in a receiver hitch, a ball, or sway bar arms, they've got it all in one location. It's Tow Center of America at your local Camping World store.
The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back, and it's better than ever. There's more prizes and more chances to win. To see the complete prize descriptions and the official rules, visit campingworld.com/racing.
I thought this was supposed to be a tamer, milder Bristol.
Yeah, maybe not. Adam.
And of course, the reason for this caution, Rick, is the 4-time champion getting in trouble on track. We're talking about Ron Hornaday. He came down pit road 1 lap ago. They changed right side tires, and they had talked about changing 4, but at the last minute said go right sides only because they were afraid he was going to lose a lap. Only problem was they had already loosened the lug nuts on the left side, so he's back in now so they can tighten those, and you can see the crew continue to work on that right front fender. Ray?
Adam, while I ran down to check on the 18 and 51, I had missed that the 30 came to pit road. Todd Bodine pitted on 33. He's done for the night also.
Green flag back in the air. The field is going to go right by 4-time champion Ron Hornaday.
And how about who's racing for the lead right now? Kyle Busch started 35th in this race, and he's racing for the lead with Skinner.
And he's been on pit road already.
Yeah, I think he's done pitting for the night. He's battling for the lead, so he overcame that problem at the start in a hurry, didn't he?
Skinner up the racetrack. Kyle Busch will be looking to get by the 5 of Skinner.
And right now he can be very, very patient. He knows that the 5 of Mike Skinner has not pitted yet. He will come to pit road at some point, but I think Kyle Busch is going to go ahead and try to pass him anyway.
I don't even know what you're saying right now, Phil. He can be really patient. This is Bristol. Nobody exercises much patience at Bristol, especially when he's fighting for the lead.
Well, lap 42, Kyle Busch broke back into the top 10, and now a smoker on the bottom of the racetrack.
Stacy Compton, it looks like, in the Safe Auto Chevrolet. Tremendous. I think I think he may have had an engine expire as well, and he shut it off now.
Shut it down and is just gliding along the apron below the racing surface.
No caution. Mike Skinner has decided to use that high line, Phil. He doesn't mind giving Kyle Busch the bottom of the racetrack because he can keep his momentum up. And he knows how hard it is to make moves down on the bottom. He's been trying to do that himself.
And remember the progressive banking, he has a little bit more bank up there to use with that truck.
Skinner out in front of Kyle Busch. Then it's Johnny Sauter running third. The young man, number 46, John King, in the 4th position. Elliott Sadler running 5th. Oh, around goes the 85 of Brett Raymer.
Everybody's able to get by here. No caution yet. Now caution flag is out.
Caution's out. Wave them off. Wave them off.
Now will Skinner take the opportunity now, sorry Rick, to come to pit road? He has not been to pit road yet.
You know, Phil, I'm not sure. Everybody's already pitted, so if he pits now, he's going to go all the way to the back anyway. If he waits a little while, it'll be basically the same, but he'll have fresher tires for later in the race. What do you think? He's already you could see there how Brett Raymer goes around. But what do you think about Skinner? Maybe he waits later and has fresher tires at the end.
I think now I'd probably wait till 100, 110, something like that.
So strategy, will it come into play for Mike Skinner? He's out front now, but can he hold off the hard-charging 18 of Kyle Busch? And how about Ron Hornaday's problems? He's struggling at Bristol. Welcome back to the O'Reilly 200. Let's go trackside to Adam Alexander.
And Rick, can you imagine being a college student, loving NASCAR, and being a part of a curriculum that helps teach you to be a NASCAR crew member, what it would be like to go spend a weekend at Bristol? Well, that would be cool in itself, but what if you had the opportunity to come here and work? That's what 30 students are doing from the University of Northwestern Ohio. They have a program that helps prepare guys to come to the track and work to be crew members. And tonight, 6 of these 30 guys are actually going over the wall and pitting the truck for Mario Goslin. Mario said a few of his crew members are working with other teams tonight, but these guys will pit his truck. The school is sponsoring Mario's vehicle tonight. If you'd like more information, you can go to unoh.edu. Pretty cool opportunity for some youngsters tonight to get experience in the big time.
You know, they also sponsored the modified race we had tonight, so what a great show that was as well on speed.
Oh, what a battle down to the checkered flag those guys had. You know what, Mario Goslin's hoping that those guys just jump over the wall and change tires. He don't want them to come over with hammers and saws to work on that car. I got an update. This is your lucky dog, Ron Hornaday. He drives number 33. At lap 66, the battle between green flag and white and yellow flag laps.
Dead even?
Dead even, 33 apiece. Caution flags just took a 2-lap advantage. So we'll keep abreast of how this develops tonight.
And we'll see how well Kyle Busch can do as he battles Mike Skinner. Skinner able to get back to the...
No trouble on the restart for Chris Jones.
Yep, slow on the restart. Gets it back up to speed. Everybody goes by. A little contact there. 3 wide through turns 1 and 2.
We have not had a restart yet without some sort of a controversy or conflict.
And around goes the 21. No, holds it straight.
Oh man, but everybody does a great job of checking up and letting them get that thing pointed in the right direction.
That's the second time David Starr has given somebody a big break.
That was Jake Crum in the 21 that almost got turned around. He was able to keep it going the right direction. Side by side at Bristol.
There's Ron Hornaday right in front of Max Pappas and the Geico Toyota. There's Dennis Setzer on the outside.
Those two side by side. Geico, the number 9 of Max Pappas, still riding up against that 92 of Dennis Setzer.
Riding along with Hornaday. He's lost a lap. He's got an Aaron's lucky dog. And he's going back to battle. Looks like he's thinking about going 3 wide into 1.
Thinks better of it, fortunately. Tough battle between Max Pappas and Dennis Setzer. There's Brad Keselowski. Brad has had 2 Aaron's lucky dogs to get back on the lead lap.
He's trying to get by that 21 as well. Jake Crum in the 21. Now here goes Hornaday to the inside of the 92 of Dennis Setzer. He's going to try to take that position away as Pappas was able to clear the 92.
Then Hornaday drives right up on Max Pappas to the inside of Pappas.
Max's spotter lets him know that Hornaday's there. Hornaday gets the spot and slides off the corner.
Hornaday is riding aggressively. 75 laps into this race, and he is trying to get back to the front. Adam.
A lot of conversation during our last commercial break about exactly what the strategy is for Mike Skinner, our race leader, yet to make a pit stop here tonight, Rick. I just talked to the crew. They said they were anticipating somewhere between lap 80 and 100, hoping they would have fresher tires at the end of this race. And out front, no strange place for Skinner when it comes to Thunder Valley. Entering tonight's race, he had a victory here at Bristol and more than 500 laps led. He is padding that laps led stat here tonight.
He's also padding his lead, Adam. He's driving away from Kyle Busch, who's running along in the second spot. Kyle obviously started in the back after working on his engine after qualifying, but he's made it to the front, but he can't do anything with Skinner once he got there.
But he knows, Ray, that he's going to have to pit. That 5 truck's going to have to pit, and that he may inherit the lead then.
Yeah, and they know, they've told Kyle all about what the 5 strategy is. He said, I'm not worried about that. Just a little bit tight off for Kyle Busch. He said he's trying to work the racetrack and figure it out. But guys, remember, this is a truck that they bought from Express Motorsports that Brian Scott drove a couple of years ago to a win at Dover. Now, Kyle Busch Motorsports has lots of brand new trucks, but they felt like this was a good one to bring to Bristol because you never know if the sides or the body's going to get tore off. But right now, Kyle able to roll right around people, having no problem, just a little bit tight off. Now let's go to Adam.
And Ray, in walking through the garage prior to tonight's race, one thing you continue to hear from teams is the possibility of doing this race on no tire change. Well, Elliott Sadler did change tires when he made his only pit stop of the night at lap 38, but they took right sides only to gain track position. That's why that Deuce is currently riding in the 3rd position.
Johnny Sauter running in the 4th position. Sauter started 4th, so hasn't made a lot of ground one way or the other.
4th in points coming into this race as well. Very, very consistently up in the top 5 for Johnny Sauter. Good battle right there. There's our point leader, Todd Bodine. Eric Almirola right now.
7th, 8th, and 9th.
Eric Almirola came into this race 2nd points.
7th, 8th, and 9th, and 1st and 2nd in the points. And
you know, at commercial break, when they were on pit road, Matt Crafton came onto pit road and added water to that truck.
He's going to get to the inside of Eric Almirola to try and take over that 8th position.
Ray Dunlap.
255 degrees was water temperature on number 88 when they ran. Oh, trouble. The 10 just got in trouble with the 31. Big damage for James Busher as they roll off the corner.
Yeah, and a lot of damage for Jennifer Jo Cobb as well. So Busher and Jennifer Jo Cobb involved in this, the 8th caution of the night.
Yeah, Jennifer Jo Cobb had spun out and she was sliding down the racetrack when James Busher came by. James had nowhere to go and made significant contact with that 10 truck of Jennifer Jo Cobb's. That's going to be terminal damage, I would think, for the 31 of James Busher.
Certainly going to put him behind the wall for an extended period of time. Been on quite a roll with this truck. Keeps qualifying 3rd.
7th time he's qualified in the top 3.
Hadn't got a pole yet, though.
Team looks at it, tries to assess what they're going to do.
See, there's Jennifer Jo Cobb. Now watch when she comes down the racetrack. James committed to the bottom. He was actually on the apron. And when she came down the racetrack, he had nowhere to go.
You know, you're going so fast here. He's entering that corner at over 100 miles an hour. He can't just all of a sudden change directions. He saw her spinning, thought she was going to stay on the track, committed to the bottom, and he was done. That's where he had to go, and they made contact.
So Jennifer Jo Cobb going to be climbing out of that race truck. They'll pull it behind the wall. The 31 of James Busher behind the wall, working on that truck as well. Our 8th caution. The record here for cautions is 12. We haven't even made it to halfway. Saturday, NASCAR race day right here in Bristol. Join JR, Kenny, Kyle, Wendy, and Hermie as they will get you ready for the biggest battle in Thunder Valley. NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot, live from Bristol Saturday. That's 5 Eastern, only on Speed.
Our point leader and most recent winner, Kevin Harvick, will be on the race day set.
Should be a great one. Ray Dunlap.
Another great start for James Busher, but the 31 Volunteer Chevrolet in the garage as they assess the damage here. James, it appeared to me that you had made a commitment to go to the bottom. Was that just a nowhere to go situation?
Yeah, pretty much nowhere to go. You know, this Volunteer Chevrolet Wolfpack Reynolds trucks was awesome. You know, pitted early, kind of, I think maybe too early. Had to save some fuel to get to the end, but we were going to try to get to the end. And you know, I was riding right there outside the top 5, and I was in my cruise control, and the truck had way more speed in it, but I had a long way to go on my tires, so figured I'd take it easy for a while and let them other guys that were in front of us go ahead and go to pit road. But you know, she got spun by somebody, but you know, she would have locked up the brakes and stopped the truck. Maybe it would have kept from taking us out. But oh well. You know, everybody knows we had a fast truck. We qualified up on the outside pole, and you know, was running up front all night. So unfortunate. We'll go to Chicago.
Okay, it looks like they may be done for the night. Adam?
And we should give a pop to a driver who's been very successful in his career debut. We're talking about Miguel Paludo driving the 77 truck, came to pit road, took 4 tires at lap 32. He has not been back since. And the key for any driver at Bristol, keep your nose clean. He has done it. Another driver who has done that, Mike Skinner, the race leader on pit road, getting his first service of the night at lap 90. He said, I'm good in 2, 3, and 4. I need some help into turn 1. Stacy Johnson, the crew chief, going to make a minor air pressure adjustment. A pull off on the windshield, and the 5 is away.
Hermie Sadler on pit road. The hood is up on that truck.
Looks like maybe some overheating issues with it as well, guys.
Looks like it. You know, Andy Hillenberg owns this truck, and at Rockingham, we're going to have the ARCA Racing Series finale in October, and they're offering a special. If you go to the website, rockinghamspeedway.com, you can buy 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 cheer wines for $44 until September 15th. Do it by then.
Pretty good deal. There's the damage to the 17, and he also was involved in when Jennifer Jo Cobb came down. Just barely clipped that back bumper.
You can see here how close Timothy Peters was to getting hooked back up into that outside wall. Watch.
Just going to catch the rear bumper, and then James came along and really made some contact with Jennifer Jo, but a close call for Timothy Peters.
I have an update, guys.
What you got on the caution lap versus green laps?
At lap 92, we're 49 green, 43 yellow.
With the greens winning out.
The greens winning out, but it's a milder Bristol, but we don't seem to be being able to prove it.
Double A. Adam.
And Mike Skinner had to come back down pit road. Stacy Johnson told him they did not get the truck full of fuel. Mike radioed back, come on guys, stay focused. We do not want to give this race away. But you guys can look at the scoring monitor. Not many people pitted there. How many spots did he lose having to come back down the pit lane?
It was a few. I know Max Pappas, Chris Jones, some of those guys had pitted as well. So you don't want to give up any ground, especially when you go with this strategy of pitting late. He's going to have his work cutting. If everything went perfectly, it's going to be hard for him to ever get back to the front. You give spots away like that for no reason, certainly going to be hurt.
And you never know when you're going to get caught behind something like what happened with Jennifer Jo Cobb, how that caught up James Busher and almost Timothy Peters.
Well, Saturday, August 28th, Scott Pruitt and Mima Rojas look to make history as the Rolex Sports Car Series heads to Montreal. The 01 team is seeking an unprecedented 8th victory. You don't want to miss the Rolex Sports Car Series live from Montreal Saturday, August 28th, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, only on Speed. So our point leader, Todd Bodine. Where does he run on the racetrack?
He's currently running in the 5th spot.
Yeah.
And that's
guess who's right behind him?
I was going to say that's okay for Todd. That's a pretty good spot because, you know, he looks in the mirror and he sees 2nd in points and he's running in 6th. You can't gain any points like that, Phil.
And he looks out the windshield and there's 3rd in points, Timothy Peters, so he's got him right around him.
And, you know, Todd wasn't too excited about the way this truck was running earlier today. He didn't like it at all. In fact, he almost said, you know, we're going to be lucky to be competitive tonight. But again, a top 5 run so far for that team. They look like they're bearing down on this championship. Ron Hornaday's having problems tonight. Looks like he's going to pretty much eliminate himself from this battle.
Pretty much.
And Todd Bodine is certainly taking control.
Guys, have you realized we haven't even made it to halfway already? We have had some unbelievable things happen on the racetrack, and we're not even at halfway.
I'm just reviewing what's happened so far for these guys, Rick.
Ray Dunlap.
Hey guys, while Michael is doing all his mathematics up there, how about this? Adam had his calculator out earlier today and figured out that Kyle Busch had led 1,566 laps in the 3 different NASCAR divisions right here at Bristol. He's going to put some tally on that tonight for sure, as we haven't gotten to halfway and that 18 is out front. Not sure if anybody will challenge him, but Mikey, keep track of those numbers. That's pretty impressive. Kyle Busch loves to be out front here at Bristol.
Going to have a good restart here. He has Elliott Sadler to his inside.
Back into the gas they go. Problems for the 47 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. getting back up to speed. He checks up as he crossed the line, but the field able to get by him.
How about Timothy Peters going to grab the second spot from Elliott Sadler?
Took it right away from Elliott Sadler. Bodine at Crafton. There's Miguel Paludo in the 77.
Been extremely impressed with Miguel Paludo. As Adam reported, what a great early run he's having so far. Being shown right now in the 8th spot.
Yeah, and he was mixing it up with Brad Keselowski under that last green flag run. Brad couldn't do anything with him. Miguel's doing a great job.
Brad just going by the 52 of Ken Schrader. There you see Justin Lofton in the 7 trying to hold off the 33 of Hornaday. There's Miguel Paludo just in front of them. Now he's got Hornaday, a 4-time series champion, right on his back bumper.
How about all the problems that Ron Hornaday's had? And right now he's running 9th, going for 8th against Miguel Paludo.
And I bet you no more than Miguel's been around NASCAR racing. He's heard of Ron Hornaday. And he knows he's a guy.
Hornaday got into the back of him.
Yeah, I was going to say, he knows he's a guy that's going to be aggressive, and that's exactly what he was. He just took that position away from Miguel.
Miguel Paludo trying to hold off the 7 of Justin Lofton now as Lofton looks to the bottom of the racetrack.
You think Miguel's thinking, now why did he do that?
Oh, that's Ron Hornaday.
Welcome to the Camping World Truck Series.
He just tried to cut under him, and when he got
a little bit loose, I think, after he made the initial move.
He's been a little rough on that right front fender tonight. Halfway, guys.
There's the halfway sign. Ryan Sieg on the inside. Mike Skinner on the outside.
Mike Skinner's making his move back towards the front. He's got 99 laps now to get back to the front.
See if he can make those pressure tires work.
He's going to drive up on the outside of John King. Certainly been impressed with this young man tonight.
Yeah, top 20 runs so far, running on the lead lap.
Just learning so much, too. Everything he sees is something that he's never seen before. And to be able to be as consistent and steady and do that, it's almost like he has Bill Elliott up top spot for him. Keeping him calm, telling him what to do.
Well, maybe he does.
Oh,
Short track racing.
I think he does have Bill Elliott.
For the Camping World Truck Series, this is 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Brad Keselowski made a pit stop on that last restart. I mean, on the last caution flag. That's why he's back this far. Remember, he had just gotten in front of Miguel Paludo before the caution came out, then came back to pit road under caution.
Look who's right there in that battle for that spot. Miguel's running in 10th. That's Bobby Hamilton Jr. back in the 13th spot. It's good to see Bobby being competitive. We talked at when he ran at at St. Louis, how he was competitive, and I thought, man, he just feels like he's got something he can do. He can prove that he can still do this job, and now here he is running up near the top 10.
Miguel Paludo still able to hold off Brad Keselowski, David Starr, and the 47 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Starr was passed by Brad Keselowski. Keselowski trying to take 10th away from Miguel Paludo.
So Miguel's found that outside line as well. He's found some grip up there. Brad's going to work to the inside to try to get by him.
Well, this is what Brad was doing before the caution. He couldn't quite pull it off. Looks like he's got a good run on the bottom this time and does get around Miguel Paludo.
Heavy traffic back here. There's Ricky Carmichael, the Ford truck. Mario Goslin, the 12. Here's Max Pappas moving to the inside of the Ford. Ricky Carmichael. There's Carl Long in the 00.
What about Carl Long battling along with these guys? Ricky's had a couple of rough breaks lately. A huge crash at Darlington. I know all that side-by-side and three-wide stuff's probably got his attention right now. He didn't want to run into anything again.
Ricky Carmichael's been all over the racetrack. As high as 7th, as low as 30th. Following Mario Goslin now in the number 12. Max Pappas running the entire 2011 season in the Camping World Truck Series.
Ooh, Mario Goslin got down on the apron, got completely sideways.
Yeah,
trying to get by Ricky Carmichael.
And don't look now, but the leader has caught us. We've got Kyle Busch that's driving up on the back of these guys, and you know, Phil, that'll just heat up the intensity. These guys battling for positions, they don't want to go a lap down, obviously, and so you'll start to maybe shove and push a little bit more than you would if Kyle wasn't joining the party.
There's Kyle Busch trying to get by Max Pappas. He looks to the high side. Carl Long just in front of him in the 00.
It's going to be difficult with these trucks running side by side. There's a lap truck of Norm Benning. They're going to make it 3 wide for a moment.
Kyle's able to safely go by those trucks. There's 21 on the lead lap, but that number is going to start going down quickly as Kyle Busch starts clicking off truck after truck.
Yeah, he's looking at Ricky Carmichael. Ricky's running in that 21st spot. He's trying to get to the outside of Clay Greenfield before Kyle Busch gets to the inside of him. There's Austin Dillon. We know how much trouble he's had tonight. He's barely hanging on to the lead lap right now as well.
Kyle Busch again won the pole earlier today, but because of adjustments they made to that race truck, he had to start this race in the back. So he came from 35th all the way up to the front and leading laps at Bristol.
You know, Michael, you were talking about how many caution laps we've had, but when they run green flag laps, man, do they click by fast. It looked just like a few moments ago we got the cross flags for halfway. We've already put 16 more laps in the book.
When they go at 16 seconds a lap or 17 seconds a lap, they go fast.
They do go by fast, don't they?
You can see Timothy Peters as they're in this lap traffic. He's been able to close in on Kyle Busch, but now Timothy's looking like he might be meeting a roadblock.
Austin Dillon going a lap down now to Kyle Busch. We've got 18 on the lead lap. Timothy Peters is trying to be the spoiler tonight. Kyle Busch going for 3 in a row from Bristol in the trucks. Coverage of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Nature Valley Granola Bars, the taste nature intended. By the University of Northwestern Ohio. For more information on the University of Northwestern Ohio and their programs, go to www.unoh.edu. And by Fusion, the 2010 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Get in and drive one. Driving is exactly what Kyle Busch is doing here in Thunder Valley. He has driven past, well, virtually everyone on the racetrack.
Got a truck sideways down in turn.
Sideways goes the 48. That's
46 of John
King. The 46 goes sideways. The caution comes out.
He had gone a lap down. Kyle Busch had closed in on our 16th place running truck of Kenny Schrader just as the caution flag had flown. John was running in 17th. It dropped to 18th, but he was certainly having a really steady, consistent run. That little slide isn't going to cost him much, it doesn't look like. Get to pit road, get 4 more tires, and go at it some more.
Is that out of the back of is that Kyle Busch's?
Yeah,
he just had gone a lap down, just got a little bit loose getting in the corner. Did a nice job not making any contact with anything.
Look
Little
the back
damage
end.
to the back of that race truck.
Ooh, I love that crowd, Rick.
Spectacular crowd here in Bristol. And they're seeing a great race. Kyle Busch has worked his way to the front. Timothy Peters will now restart right next to him when we come back.
Next week, the Camping World Truck Series heads to the Chicagoland Speedway. Last year, Kyle Busch won the inaugural race for the trucks in the Windy City. With the points race heating, in whose favor will the wind blow this time? Chris Devoto hosts the setup starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by flag-to-flag coverage, only on Speed.
Again, that's August 27th, Chicagoland 225. The doubleheader, ARCA and trucks.
I tested a truck at Chicago one day, and it was absolutely the fastest I'd ever felt I'd gone in my whole life.
I tested a truck there as well.
You get down in the corner, and you just have to speed up, it feels like, and that's what these guys will have to do for 225 miles.
Ray Dunlap.
Todd Bodine came to the pits at lap 132. He was very loose in, really tight off. He tried to adjust it with brakes, but it wasn't doing it, so they needed to pit. They adjusted the right rear shock, put wedge in it, changed the track bar, and air pressure in the right rear.
All on a short track.
Other than that, they did nothing.
Sounds like a Hail Mary, doesn't it?
Didn't even touch it. Green flag back in the air. Kyle Busch, Timothy Peters, 1 and 2.
I think they flung one up, hoping that would fix that 30 truck. We'll certainly see if it does or not.
Elliott Sadler still in contention in the 2. Now Johnny Sauter in the 13 goes to the outside, trying to take 3rd away.
We heard some radio chatter, Rick, during the break there where Kyle Busch said he's really loose. He said if we do pit, I need an adjustment, but he can't pit, can he, Phil?
No, I don't think so, especially with 60-some laps to go. No way can he give up the lead with 16 trucks on the lead lap, I don't think.
No, Mike Skinner has fresher tires. He pitted around lap 110. He is certainly, or excuse me, around lap 90-some, and he certainly made his way back into the top 10, so maybe Skinner does have a strategy here that he can contend with. You can see him on the outside there. racing behind Ron Hornaday and Brad Keselowski.
How about these guys racing for the 6th position? Both of them had their troubles. Brad had to make an unscheduled pit stop, lost a couple laps after a near spin. Ron Hornaday did spin, did make contact with the wall, got a lucky dog, and they're here battling for the 6th spot.
Yeah, 3 lucky dogs between those 2 drivers. Todd Bodine was on pit road. Again, they threw everything they had at that truck to try to make it better.
Almirola is trying to hold off Todd. Todd on the fresher tires is probably going to be able to make that move.
Don't you think Kyle Busch's guys are watching this 30 truck of Todd Bodine? They knew how Todd was able to run before the caution flag. He came in and got fresh tires. They're going to keep an eye on him. If he marched straight to the front, then I think they would rethink that maybe coming in on the next caution flag. But it doesn't look like Todd is going to be able to just drive there with ease.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that truck is like Todd wants it. I think when we talked to him after qualifying, he didn't like his truck and it's not handling right. You can see it's just really tight in the center of the corner. He said to compound that, it was wanting to spin out loose on entry. So that's a bad combination. And you can see Todd's new tires aren't doing anything for him versus Eric Almirola. And I think this is a good sign for Kyle Busch and guys that are staying out on tires. They don't see big moves by guys that have come to pit road. Skinner had a really fast truck. He was able to hold the lead earlier against Kyle Busch. Right now he's up to the 8th spot, but it isn't like he's making moves every lap.
Still there. Kyle Busch still able to run a 16:33 that last lap. That's very, very quick around this racetrack with this many laps on their tires this long into a run.
Bodine Starr continue to battle for the 10th spot. Starr has it. Bodine trying to take it away. Battles back on the outside. Starr comes back down on the bottom of the racetrack. Gets side by side with Todd Bodine.
You know, it's got to be a little confusing for Todd and that team. They've been so solid, so good every week. But here at Bristol, they just missed it. They can't get the thing to handle right.
This is for second. Timothy Peters holding on to it. Elliott Sadler just behind him. What are they saying with the 17 team, Adam?
Well, tonight is an evening they feel like they have an opportunity to pick up some ground in the points. 6 consecutive top 10 finishes for Timothy Peters, including that runner-up last week at Darlington. But Todd Bodine has been so hot, he's not been able to gain any ground. The spotter just told Timothy, you might want to adjust your line. Elliott Sadler is doing something different, and he's a little bit faster than you, Ray.
Adam, when we look at the record books, there are 3 drivers who have won in all of NASCAR's top series here at Bristol. That would be Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, and Mark Martin. But keep in mind, guys, no one has ever won all 3 races on the same weekend. I asked Kyle Busch earlier today if he thought he had a shot at doing that this week. He said absolutely, and I always believe that we have that shot. But realize Elliott Sadler and Brad Keselowski will also be doing the triple. Kyle said he thought Brad was his biggest obstacle racing in the Nationwide Series here on Friday night.
Well, I like the looks of this 2 truck with 50 laps to go. We heard Kyle Busch talking that he's loose. He wants an adjustment. Elliott Sadler is just seemingly getting better and better with each lap. Having trouble, obviously, making his way underneath Timothy Peters. Timothy's a fast truck. But if he could grab that spot from Timothy, he might go up there and battle Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch now has a 1.6 second lead over Timothy Peters. So a big lead for Busch on his way to 3 in a row at Bristol. Welcome back to the O'Reilly 200. Kyle Busch still in front of the field, now trying to put the 12 of Mario Gosselin another lap down.
Yeah, Mario's a lap down. Excuse me, Phil.
Kyle Busch has got a lead of between a second and a second half. This is one of the ways that you're going to get that lead. Watch the 3 of Austin Dillon, the 4 of Ricky Carmichael as they go in turn number 3.
Kyle says, I think there's room between you guys.
Yeah, just go in the middle. And that's how you maintain a lead of about a second and a half.
And what a battle these 2 are having. It looks like Elliott Sadler again is way faster than Timothy, but Timothy's holding the line. They were 3 wide side by side while lapping traffic as well, but Elliott, although got all the way beside Peters, he could not finish the pass.
This is what they were doing while we were away for a few laps.
Looked like Elliott tried to move him up the hill a little bit, tried to maybe get Timothy out of the throttle. Didn't work. Timothy fought right back. They go by the lap truck of Brent Raymer 3 wide.
Action's picking up, 37 laps to go.
And all this is happening with Kyle Busch just about a half a straightaway ahead of these 2.
Oh, he's going to turn into the wall. They're the 17 of Timothy Peters and the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, I hear.
Elliott Sadler looked to straighten it back out, but there is damage to the 17, and he is not happy with the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
Well, it looked like Elliott had just a piece of his nose on the outside of Timothy, and Timothy crowded up, and they ran into the wall.
Adam.
Elliott Sadler came on the radio and said, our bumper's hooked. I didn't mean to hit him. Timothy Peters, as you would imagine, very, very upset. Jeff Hensley, the veteran crew chief, came on the radio, reminded his driver to calm down. The crew is on the wall preparing to pit, and they have asked the folks on the spotter stand to try and look at Timothy Peters' truck to have a better idea of what they will need to do when he does, in fact, make a pit stop.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that right front tire rubbing. It looks like to me like the 17 probably needs to come to pit road. I'm not sure Elliott's going to have to come to pit road, Michael.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, Phil. If I'm 17, I come. If I'm 2, I think I stay out there. And there goes the 17 to pit road. Check this out.
Elliott has a little bit of a run, a little bit of momentum, and
yeah.
he just had that momentum. When Timothy pulled up in front of him, he just ran in the back of him. I don't think it was a situation where Elliott said, I'm going to run up here and run in the back of him. He just came on him a little bit quick here. I think he thought he might be able to have that lane open on the outside, but then when Timothy came up and closed it up, then they made the contact.
And I think you're exactly right, Phil. And the thing that you said just before this happened, as you can see, they're off 2. There's a bit of a hole, then there isn't. Boom. They make contact.
Yeah, and when they did, they got hooked together. You could hear Elliott obviously out of the throttle.
But Elliott also had the opportunity to get out of the gas a bit and not run into the back of the 17.
Well, certainly, but Phil said something that was key just before that happened. 37 to go. These laps are clicking off in a hurry, and Elliott thought, I got a hole here. I need to try to get in it. Adam, what's happening?
Well, I just heard Jeff Hensley say, get out the baseball bat. I'm glad he's talking about fixing the truck and not going after the 2 team.
Or something.
The right front brace on the splitter is broken away, and the focus is getting the fender off that right front tire. A lot of damage. They've changed right side tires. Their main goal now going to be staying on the lead lap, and they're going to send him away. He'll probably come back down pit road.
Buddy. Get a bungee cord for that hood deal there.
That's how fast it goes bad at Bristol, huh? I mean, just sitting here within 35 laps of the finish, running in second spot. Elliott Sadler was all over Timothy, though, for lap after lap. So you know Elliott was thinking, if I can get around this guy, I can go win this darn race. Got a little aggressive.
You know, we talked about Kyle having somewhere between a second and a second-half lead. Well, he maintained that while those guys were battling side by side. He really never gained any more ground than that. So I think you're right. I think Elliott, had he been able to get by Timothy, he may have been able to chase Kyle down.
And we're going to see that now because Elliott Sadler will start on the inside of that 18.
He may have a little bit of damage, though. He made some contact with the outside wall, as well as some damage, obviously, in the front end to Timothy's back end. So he may be crippled a bit. It'll be interesting to see what happens when we restart this race.
They're not going to go this time. NASCAR's put the caution back out. They were coming to the green, but NASCAR's delayed that start. And I think you're right, Phil. We heard on Elliott's in-truck camera that he had gotten into the wall pretty good. Well, that's interesting.
Well, fluid up there.
Somebody's lost some oil or rear end grease or something.
You see the damage to the 17 involved in this most recent incident. Ray Dunlap.
Hey, to give you a quick update on Brad Keselowski, currently the 29 Ruby Tuesdays truck is running up in 5th. Brad said his issue is when he gets through the center of the corner once in a while, it's tight, and then 4 or 5 laps later, it's loose. So he's trying to make driver adjustment styles to get it to go through the way he wants it to. But he said it's just an ever-changing truck, so kind of hard to give information to the crew chief.
If anybody knows how to make some adjustments on the fly, it is Brad Keselowski. He's awfully good at this racetrack. Won here in the Nationwide Series.
Can't wait to see if Elliott Sadler's got enough truck left after that contact with the wall to go after Kyle Busch. Certainly, he and Timothy Peters both were holding their own against Kyle while they battled for each other, like you said, Phil.
Green flag back in the air. Kyle Busch on the outside. Elliott Sadler on the inside. Sadler not as good a start. Here comes Matt Crafton to the high side.
Matt has a position on the outside. He has that spot. Here comes Hornaday. I think Elliott Sadler's truck is a little bit off right now.
You know, Matt Crafton a year ago finished second to Kyle Busch in this very race.
You can see Elliott now holding up Johnny Sauter.
That's probably a toe-in issue, Phil. Maybe some aerodynamics with that right front corner, but he's not anywhere near as fast as he was.
Ooh, Johnny Sauter gets loose underneath him, catches that truck. Elliott's going to move up out of the way now, give these guys some room down below him to race.
Yeah, if you don't move up, somebody will knock you up out of the way, that's for sure. Looked like a good corner for Elliott Sadler. He moved to the top and was able to drive away from Johnny a little bit.
Johnny again sideways. So Sauter having a hard time keeping the truck pointed the right direction.
See David Starr looking down on the inside of Johnny Sauter as those guys battle with Elliott Sadler. Great run for David Starr tonight. Riding along in the 6th spot, challenging for the 5th place with Johnny Sauter.
Matt Crafton has been able to maintain contact with Kyle Busch. He's about 0.3 of a second behind now as we watch Johnny Sauter work to the inside of Elliott Sadler.
Looks like Johnny's going to be able to make most of that pass.
Most of it.
Sauter trying to get by on the inside. Elliott Sadler staying up on the high side of the racetrack now with the damage to that number 2 truck.
Johnny makes the pass now. David Starr said, please move up there and give me the bottom of the racetrack.
Crafton has fallen to 0.4 of a second behind Kyle Busch.
Last time by, Crafton was a little faster than Kyle. They've basically been running the same times.
Final 25 laps of racing for the O'Reilly 200. When we come back, we will see the checkered flag. Will it be Kyle Busch making his way back to victory lane, or who will be the spoiler to take it away from him? Surprisingly, we're still under all the caution just comes out now for the 2 of Elliott Sadler. He got into the wall in turn 3 and 4. The caution just coming out. So a difficult night for Elliott Sadler.
Tough break for Elliott Sadler. His truck was obviously not right after the contact with Timothy Peters.
But man, he was racing for the lead when he went down. You can see here he goes down into turn 3, right front tire blows out, up to the wall he goes.
Brad Keselowski does a nice job avoiding him. He's in a fierce battle with Mike Skinner and Eric Almirola. I mean, another look as he gets down in turn number 3.
Turn 3, there's the demise of Elliott Sadler tonight. That's where he and
Timothy Peters.
Timothy got together, and now his right front tire goes flat. That's a helpless feeling, huh, Phil?
Yeah, it sure is. And fortunately, I don't think he didn't make as much contact as he could have.
So on to pit road goes the 2 of Elliott Sadler. Kyle Busch, the laps are winding down. Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway and the O'Reilly 200 for the Camping World Truck Series. Kyle Busch trying to make it 3 in a row from the world's fastest half mile. The laps continue to wind down here. What a beautiful sight of this racing facility and a great crowd on hand.
I'm going to really like to see what Matt Crafton is able to do with Kyle Busch. It's the first time he's going to be able to start up on the front row running in the 2nd spot.
And you know what I really like? The guy that's going to restart in 3rd and 4th. You're going to bring Johnny Sauter and Ron Hornaday into this mix as well. They double these things up with inside of 10 to go. These guys have got to push the button. I'm going to see what Johnny Sauter is able to do in that outside lane following Kyle Busch on this restart.
Aaron's lucky dog goes to Max Pappas. He gets a lap back, so he'll be the 16th truck on the lead lap. Now, you mentioned Hornaday and Sauter running side by side back there in that 2nd row. Those 2 run side by side real well together, don't they?
Well, they've made it interesting as they tried to complete laps side by side. One of the best finishes we've ever had.
Kansas.
It was Kansas. And the
synchronized spinning.
It came with about 5 or 6 to go, but it was the most exciting race for the lead that I think we've ever seen in the Truck Series. Those guys did something I've never seen before. Just smoke flying, tires sliding.
Yeah, that piece of metal you saw on the racetrack, that flew off right there of Elliott Sadler's truck.
It's a piece of that brake rotor from the right front.
He has brakes, Elliott's reported to his crew. They're just the rear brakes, which safety-wise, that's fine. If there's an accident, he can get stopped because he does have brakes. But it's going to be really hard to be competitive without any front brakes. You got to be really careful.
Get you caught up on what's happened in our race recap. Again, Kyle Busch won the pole, but he didn't get a start up front. He had to go to the back because of changes that put Elliott Sadler up front.
Lap number 8, Brad Keselowski gets loose underneath Hornaday. Does a little half spin there, but he flattens the tire. When he did it, he had to come to pit road, lose a couple laps.
Lap 20, 3 wide, doesn't work out for Donnie Lee in the 07 or the 3 of Austin Dillon as he gets into that mess.
Austin Dillon's had a rough night and it started right there. Check this crash out. Jennifer Jo Cobb just trying to survive here. Kyle Busch on fresh tires, wanting to get to the front. He gets a hold of Jennifer off turn 4 and around she goes.
She does a nice job making any contact with the inside wall. Her contact's going to come later. Here's lap number 43. Dennis Setzer racing with Clay Greenfield. He makes contact with the left rear corner, turns him around. Austin Dillon's going to come along here. and make a little bit of contact with his left front.
Lap 51. Seeing a theme here. Now we're on board with the 33. Hornaday, around he goes.
You're right, a theme, Rick. A lot of people running into each other and spinning out, and that's what you get at a tight half mile like Bristol Motor Speedway. The world's fastest half mile. When things go bad, ooh, sometimes they go bad in big ways.
James Busher involved in this one when Jennifer Jo Cobb came back down the racetrack.
Here's lap number 163. These guys battling for the second position. Elliott Sadler gets in the back of Timothy Peters. Timothy comes out in the worst. Well, actually, Timothy's still on the lead lap, where right now Elliott Sadler's being shown 2 laps down because of this.
His right front tire blew getting into turn 3 again this time. Truck into the outside wall, broke a right front brake rotor. So he's wounded as he's trying just to limp to the finish. You can see the team there on pit road. We have 8 laps to go, coming to 7 to go, and the caution is still out. So, Adam, what happened to the 13? Johnny Sauter was up in that 4th spot. Now he's had trouble.
Not good, Michael. He's been very consistent lately. Remember, they last pitted lap 32. Their only pit stop of the night. He ran out of fuel, so they had to come down the pit lane. Tough break for him, and he'll take a hit in the points again as Bodine is running 9th. Ray?
Adam, the 29 truck doesn't care anything about points. They came here to win tonight. So with less than 10 to go, Brad Keselowski came to the pits, put on 4 fresh tires. He's got stickers. We haven't seen it work too much tonight, but remember, everybody else is running on really old tires. Keep your eye on number 29.
Check out these guys trying to sort out where they're going to restart. They have a difference of opinion there, and they're going to make it 4 wide trying to figure it out.
They're crashing. They're crashing back there. And guys, remember, Johnny Sauter running out of fuel, he pitted the exact same lap that our leader, Kyle Busch, did.
And these banks, Phil, these high banks at Bristol, especially under caution.
Remember Dover.
The fuel can get away from the pickup. You could see a guy bobble on the restart here, not get his engine up to speed, and plus, just trying to make it to the finish on a little bit of gas.
Kyle Busch back into the throttle. Green flag back in the air. Matt Crafton on his inside trying to make a move. We see the 33 of Hornaday making it 3 wide going down the backstretch.
Crafton has a problem. He may be out of fuel, or at least it may have stumbled.
I think his motor stumbled. That's what we talked about on this restart. He loses his spot to Hornaday.
Kyle Busch is loving all the commotion going on behind him.
He's not breathing easy, though. Remember, he ran out of fuel at Dover. He was one of those trucks at Dover that ran out of fuel late.
Yeah, there's still 5 to go, so I know he's holding his breath watching these guys struggle for fuel late in the going.
Matt Crafton on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Skinner trying to take that position away from him.
Were we not talking about Eric Almirola just a few laps ago running 8th and not really able to make any ground up on top of 9? He's running 2nd right now, Rick.
And Skinner really battling hard with Matt Crafton. Now Hornaday looks to the inside of that 51. While out front, Kyle Busch running in front of Almirola and Hornaday. Busch with almost a 2nd lead now. As this time when he comes by the stripe. 2 laps of racing to go.
2nd through 5th, they can't work it out side by side. Oh, inside. What a great
81
run.
of David Starr, and there's more contact. Ken Schrader gets into him. Dennis Sensor goes around. The 4 of Ricky Carmichael involved.
And remember the fuel situation. Now we're going to go overtime. We know Kyle Busch has to be low on fuel.
Brent Raymer in the 85 able to avoid Ken Schrader.
That's a hard hit for Kenny Schrader. David Starr came from down on the bottom of the racetrack, and Schrader drilled him.
There's Starr.
A couple of guys having some really solid runs. David Starr had been up the top 10, top 5. Kenny Schrader had made his way to just inside the top 10.
Michael, they're going to red flag this race, and that's probably the best thing that you could ever hope for Kyle Busch, because he's not going to run around here more laps and run out of fuel.
But still, it's a concern, Rick. You know, you think about these restarts and the fact that the trucks are up on those banks and the fuel's running away from the pickup. So I'm concerned for Kyle Busch, as I'm sure he is as well.
Schrader's out of his truck, being helped out of his truck now.
Schrader's a tough guy. He's raced all over the world, but he's hurting right now.
See, David Starr was on the inside of Justin Lofton, it looked like.
Yep.
They make contact. Kenny Schrader comes along after David bounced off the inside wall, was headed back to the outside wall.
That was
Miguel
Paludo got into the 92 of Dennis Sensor.
And then Ricky Carmichael came along and got a part of that wreck as well.
So a lot of damage.
See, here comes Kenny.
Out.
I mean, that's
Hard
just that's as fast as you're going right there, Phil.
Yeah.
He dove into turn. Wow, look at the 17 truck just slipped through the middle of that. He dove down into turn 1 as fast as he could be going, and he made hard contact with David Starr.
Yeah, upwards of 130 or 40 miles an hour as they entered that corner. Here's real time. Here's David. He hits the inside wall. Now he heads to the outside. Kenny comes by, as you mentioned. He's in the corner absolutely as hard as he can get in the corner. He'd already committed.
Sparks flying.
Kenny has a little limp there.
Little limp, getting out of his truck, looking at the damage. Well, at least he's got a smile.
That's Kenny Schrader. He's smiling.
Yeah, he's smiling.
Even though he's in some pain, obviously.
Man, that hurt.
It's like red flag condition for this race. Now, you guys talked about having to park on a little bit of a bank. The good thing is it's about maybe at the most 9 degrees.
Wow, this is a good look at it. You see David Starr makes some contact with another truck, and look at the angles.
Yeah.
Schrader had 2 big hits there, Phil. One into the side of Starr, and then the other as he ricocheted into that outside wall.
Now let's go trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. We're sitting here watching TV, and I'm with Eric Phillips, crew chief for Kyle Busch, and just wondering how tight it is. I heard Kyle say, I don't think we're going to make it. You encouraged him and said we're going to be okay, but you were 3/4 of a lap away from the white flag.
Yeah, he just asked if he thought, if we could make it there. I think we're all right. The worst part about this place is the banking. I think we got enough gas. It's just if it picks it up with the banking at this place. But all these guys on this Toyota Tundra done a great job tonight. Had a little mishap in qualifying, but we've been fast all weekend, so see what we got.
How nervous are you really? Come on, give me the truth.
After that deal at Dover, I'm really nervous.
Okay, so that's the truth, guys. Eric Phillips sweating it out down here, trying to get another win for KB.
As we mentioned, at Dover, Kyle Busch was in front, looked as though he was going to run away with it, and problems on the restart allowed Eric Almirola to go by him.
And we're going
his first win.
We're going overtime, Rick.
We are going overtime in the Camping World Truck Series. This is the reason for our 12th and record-tying caution. We're under a red flag condition. Can Kyle Busch make it? The fuel is the question now. We know he's got a strong truck, but does he have enough fuel to make it? The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World. The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. Camping World is offering more prizes, more chances to win. Visit campingworld.com and enter today. By Royal Purple, the performance oil that outperforms. And by Toyota.
You know what's back and better than ever? The action at Bristol.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the damage to that truck. That is Kenny Schrader's number 52. We're under a red flag condition. Here are the trucks that were involved in this most recent caution. It's a record-tying 12th caution here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Some of those trucks you see are involved are riding along in the top 10, Rick.
Let's take a look.
This is coming off turn number 4. You see the contact between David Starr and the 7 of Justin Loft, and then here comes the hard contact.
Here's a couple looks that I'd like you to listen to.
Especially this one coming up right now. This is from the inside of the racetrack.
You can hear.
Listen to this right here. Listen to the contact.
3,400 pounds of metal.
And look at the damage to Kenny Schrader's Federated Auto Parts Chevy.
And you know that tire is forced back right into where Schrader's feet basically sit when he's driving his truck, so that's why you saw him limp off. And darn, after watching that impact repeatedly, I'm glad he walked. I mean, that could have been something that he could have really been hurt. I know he's shaken up, but it was good to see him walk away under his own power.
Big hit for Kenny Schrader. The 81 of David Starr involved in that as well.
Yeah, a lot of damage to that Chasco Toyota, new sponsor on board for the first time, construction company out of Texas.
What about some of the guys that have rebounded here tonight? Timothy Peters, after his problems with Elliott Sadler, he's all the way up to the 10th spot.
What about Hornaday running 3rd?
Certainly.
Hornaday.
Todd Bodine, we saw Todd Bodine fall out of the top 10. Right now he's being shown in the 7th position.
Brad Keselowski, a late pit stop, has him 8th.
Oh, Eric Amarola is sitting there looking at that big scoreboard in the middle of Bristol Motor Speedway and feels good about the fact that he sees that 51 truck up in second, but he doesn't have to look down too far before he finds Todd Bodine, the guy who's racing for this championship. Todd's currently riding along in 7th, and you're just not going to make up enough ground like that.
Eric Amarola also knowing that he's driving for the team that's won this race for the last 2 years with the guy in front of him leading.
Well, we're getting ready to go over to lap 202 or 203 before this thing's over, and that's not something that Eric Phillips and Kyle Busch needed to see. When they made that pit stop around lap 31, they knew it was going to be risky. They were going to need a lot of caution flag laps, but that's what they needed to do to win the race. They're in a position to win it, but now they got to go overtime to grab it.
There's our Aaron's lucky dog, Johnny Sauter. If you were Kyle Busch right now, would you not run on the flat of the racetrack on these pace laps, Michael?
I would. That's a great idea, Phil. Just get that thing down on the bottom. That way the fuel pickup is setting more flat, and the gas is setting more flat, and that way the fuel isn't getting away from the pickup. You see, they put the pickup over in the right side of the fuel cell because when you go around these corners, it slings the fuel over that way. You can pick it up the most that way. But when you're going slow, the fuel doesn't sling over there, and therefore the pickup can't grab all that gas.
Let's hear from the man who drove that truck. He's with Adam Alexander.
No surprise, it's been a rough night here at Bristol. David Starr kind of at the beginning of our most recent caution. What happened, David?
Well, first of all, I ought to thank the Chasco people. Our Chasco contract in Toyota Tundra was pretty awesome tonight, and the 7 truck got into me and got me and spun me out, and I got underneath him. He bounced off the wall. Instead of me getting into him, I tried to stay off of it, and when he bounced off the wall, he came back into me, and it was just, I had too much will into it, just lost it. It's just a shame because our Chasco contract in Toyota Tundra, I thought we was going to get a good finish tonight, but it's not to be, so we gave it all we had.
What about the impact with Schrader after he hit the inside wall?
Yeah, it was pretty hard. My back was hurting me already. It was a pretty hard hit. Kenny's okay, hurt his foot, but he told me it was not his fault. I came up to him, so he's joking in there, so he's okay. But pretty hard hit. I'd like to say hi to my wife back at home in Dallas, let her know I'm okay, but just disappointed we didn't get to finish that I thought we was going to get tonight.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
What about this move, guys?
I think Matt Crafton was worried about running under fuel. We saw his truck bobble on the very start. Looked like maybe it didn't quite pick up the fuel, so I think it was a situation where he said, hey, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go again in this restart. Why not put a little fuel in it? Hey, while we're at it, let's put some tires on. Aren't that many trucks on the lead lap here?
14 on the lead lap. Setzer running 14. Right.
You were right. Crafton's truck did sputter, but I want to talk about the 51. Eric Almirola does not have power steering, but he did get on the radio and say, what should I do if the 18 sputters and doesn't get a good restart? They said, soon as you get to that double red line, we're going to tell you that you're at that point, and from there you just go, and we'll figure it out in the end. Eric Almirola going for win number 3 of the season. Adam?
And Kenny Schrader coming from the infield care center. Banged up there on your left foot, Kenny. You okay?
Yeah, I just bounced my ankle around pedals. Not even my ankle. My ankle's fine, just top of my foot, just sore.
Where does that hit rate? Because there was a lot of impact there.
Seemed like it at times, yeah. If it wasn't for 1 hour here, it wouldn't be bad at all.
Thanks, Kenny, and we're glad you're okay.
Thank you.
2 big hits for Ken Schrader.
Man, this race has gone to lap 203 now. Phil will get the green on 204, have to run to 206.
Well, and I'm guessing one guy who's wanting this thing to get underway right away is Kyle Busch in that 18.
And just not knowing what you have or don't have in a position to win the race, that's just so painful.
And remember, we can do this 3 times.
Up to 3 times,
attempts
for sure.
at a green-white checker finish. This will be the 5th attempt at a green-white checker for the 2010 season.
You know, Mike Skinner needs to be on his toes here too. If that 18 truck doesn't go, he's got to be able to figure out how to get around them.
And look at that right. Comes out of turn number 4. Kyle Busch into the gas. Green flag out. He's got it through 1 and 2. And he's checking out down the backstretch. Does he have enough?
How about Todd Bodine racing up in the top 5 right now?
Here comes Hornaday to the inside of Mike Skinner. Got a spin. White flag out as they spin behind him.
Caution flag.
Kyle Busch took the white flag. We'll see if NASCAR says it's official. Kyle Busch was across the stripe when the accident was happening behind him in turn 4. And listen, you can almost hear it. It almost sounded like
checker flag is in the hand of the flag person.
Sure enough. Kyle Busch will win 3 in a row at Bristol. You could hear the motor blubber a little bit, it sounded like, on that 18 when he came through 3 and 4. But he's got enough to get the win.
Austin Dillon's not happy with Matt Crafton. They were kind of shoving on each other coming down the front straightaway.
How about Kyle Busch, after making an adjustment, and we're hearing that he ran out of gas just now, but after making the adjustment after qualifying, he starts at the back, works his way to the front, made short order of the field, and gets another win.
Got to be proud of that team, Bill. Eric Phillips and the strategy that they used to win the race. Certainly a great call by Eric and those guys that worked so hard for Kyle Busch.
We talked at the very beginning of the race. Could Kyle Busch win this race from the back? Had never been one from farther back than 12. We said he could. We all agreed that he could because of how fast that truck is and the fact he had such a good truck. It may take some differing pit strategy. It worked. He pitted early.
Well, Eric Phillips was nervous before, but he should be nervous now. He's with Ray.
Hey, Eric, there must be some gas left in that thing because he's doing a burnout. Congratulations. A little risky call at the beginning, I thought, but it all worked out.
Yeah, it was risky, but track position's so hard here. You know, Kyle won this race last year, got behind that 23, never could pass him. We knew we had to come early. We made a decision this morning. We said if the caution come at 30, we were coming before the incident during qualifying. And the Toyota Tundra was fast tonight, and all my guys did a good job. And we had enough gas to do a burnout in the green-white checkered, and he did a good job saving gas, I guess.
Congratulations, great win. The official record book will show this one finishing under yellow. Kyle Busch goes to victory lane 3 in a row here at Bristol.
It'll also show Kyle Busch starting on the pole. So sometimes the record book isn't exactly clear because we know that there was a lot that went on for Kyle Busch to get to the checker flag.
So this is the problem behind Kyle.
Kyle's coming off turn 4 to take the caution flag. There's a spin.
The 9 of Max Pappas, the 3 of Austin. They took the white, and he was across the stripe just as this happened.
You can see Matt Crafton pushes into Austin Dillon, shoves him up the track. Austin gets into Max Pappas, and that causes the crash, and that's why Austin Dillon wasn't too happy with Matt Crafton.
Now watch the flag person. That's Sarah up in the flag stand.
They're well past the start finish line.
Well past that before the lights
and then
come on.
the lights come on.
Yeah, the lights actually are triggered from the tower.
Yep.
So that's really what's official. And they were well past the start finish line when the lights came on.
You can see here the crash happens right now, but man, they're traveling 100 miles an hour, and that was in slow motion. You can see how far they are past the start finish line.
The caution lap just came out. They were really entering turn number 1 when the caution lights came on.
And these guys aren't happy.
Well,
the 3 of Austin Dillon has had a tough night already, and now to add insult to injury, the 88 gets into him, and it continues.
They were a couple of laps down, Austin Dillon was, and Matt Crafton had new tires, and he wanted to go. After the checkered flag fell, Austin Dillon came up and roughed up Matt Crafton a little bit.
Boy, a lot of damage to that 3 truck tonight. And the teams just aren't happy. And a lot of teams never walk away from a short track happy.
Well, and this is Bristol, remember.
And this is Bristol. 19th career win, though, for Kyle Busch.
Record amount of cautions here tonight for this race.
Yes.
And a point leader, Tabodine, with so much struggles here, ends up with a top 5 finish unofficially.
How do you do that?
I'm not sure.
Kyle Busch, 3 consecutive wins at this racetrack. Look at the names that he's in company with. Brendan Gaughan at Texas, a dominant performance, 2002 and 2003. Johnny Benson, 3 in a row at Milwaukee. Musgrave at Fontana.
That's pretty
Jack
cool.
Sprague at Phoenix.
Johnny Benson, 3 in a row in Milwaukee. He's from that part of the world, so nice that Johnny had success there at his home track. Well, you know, sort of.
Close, a Midwest. Michigan would be his home track, but
he's a Michigander.
Milwaukee certainly, and also ran the ASA series at Milwaukee. So yeah, I'm sure he had a lot of fond memories of that place, especially winning 3 in a row in the truck series.
And Brendan Gaughan, he just defined Texas there for a while. Nobody could do anything with him.
For 2 years in a row, swept Texas.
I know a guy that won 7 races in a row right here. From 1981 to 84, Darrell Waltrip won 7 Cup races in a row.
That's incredible.
It's
really
exactly that, incredible.
Well, let's head to victory lane now, and Ray Dunlap.
All right, NASCAR.com race view on the front of this truck. Kyle Busch sweating it out a little bit there as we went green, white, checkered. celebrating win number 3 for the season, and I'll tell you what, you had to be a little bit nervous about the fuel situation.
Yeah, we were. I was. Oh, man. It ran out on the second to last restart, and it ran out again on the last restart, coming right there to the line. So I didn't know if I got the white flag or not, but man, that was close. I tell you what, I can't thank NASCAR.com, Race Review, Track Pass, Toyota M&Ms, Z-Line Designs, Interstate Batteries. NOS is what's powering me to victory lane for this week. It's going to be a lot of racing, but of course, Electric Sunglasses, Camping World, great series of fans, of course, coming out here supporting Bristol on a Wednesday night. That's pretty awesome. And our other partners on board, Flexco, of course, Toyota. Don't forget, you can win my Tundra. Go to winkylestundra.com, and we're giving away a free Toyota Tundra, so it's for the foundation.
That may be the most sponsor plugs ever, but you did it very smoothly. I do want to ask you a question, though. You know, we've talked over and over. You've won 3 races in all the series here at Bristol, but no one's ever done 3 in the same weekend. Can you do it this weekend?
I was very close last year. I won the truck race, didn't win a nationwide race, got wrecked there, but won the cup race. So I don't see why not, Ray. You know, I feel like my chances are pretty good. I love racing here, and Bristol's always so much fun. So, you know, I can't wait to get going. But again, NASCAR.com Race View, you get 18% off from the rest of this weekend on a purchase of Track Pass subscription.
Sounds like a good deal to me, and congratulations to you. Kyle Busch back in victory lane. Let's go to Adam.
And Matt Crafton records a top 10 finish here tonight. That's the good news, but some interesting things happening there at the close. I know you and Austin Dillon had words. Take us through what happened and then what Austin and Crew Chief Danny Stockman said to you.
I mean, they were upset. I mean, I understand they'd be upset. I mean, well, we were on the lead lap, and I was trying to get through them, everybody to get lined up behind the lead lap guys, because we came in and put tires on our stuff, and that's the last thing I wanted to do is wreck him. I mean, that was not intended. I tried to get him up off the bottom, and it was not intended to wreck. I was on the lead lap trying to race for position, trying to get something, and like I said, I got into it a little harder than I meant to. And all in all, I mean, got to thank these guys who worked hard today. We had an overheating problem there at the very beginning, and had to keep coming down, cooling the thing down, drill a hole in the nose of it, cool it down, got to second, and then just started running out of gas there at the end.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
So that was one side of the story. Matt Crafton obviously saying he didn't want to get into the back of the 3 of Austin Dillon, but he did. And Austin Dillon went around, and, well, Kyle Busch went around, but it was in celebration. Celebrating 3 in a row from Bristol. Can he win all 3 in Bristol? Well, that'll be the big question now. Welcome back. The O'Reilly 200 in the books, and that young man is celebrating once again. His 19th career Camping World Truck Series win. That puts him 5th on the all-time list in the Camping World Truck Series.
Ricky's won 76 times in the 3 major series of NASCAR. That's 9th on the all-time list. 9th in the history of NASCAR. You know, how old is he?
Yeah, he's 25.
25.
Earlier
Todd
today,
Bodine, yeah,
he became the youngest pole winner here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Bodine, 216 points in front of Eric Almirola.
It's over.
And Phil thinks it's over. But
Ron Hornaday moves up.
We have 9 races still to go. Adam.
And Phil, I don't think you're going to convince Todd Bodine the points race is over. Solid run tonight, though. They're still kind of figuring out where you finished officially. The bottom line is you took care of business at a place that's very difficult to do so.
Yeah, you know, I know you guys up there were talking about it. It's pretty disheartened how the truck was running in practice, and really didn't think we had a good truck, and we didn't. The Valvoline Toyota Tundra just is loose in, tight in the middle, tight off, loose in the middle. I mean, I could never make it do the same thing twice, and we kept fighting and adjusting and fighting and adjusting, and ended up 6th. I mean, that's you know, that's what you have to do to win championships. I've said it all along. If you have a bad night, finish in the top 10. Just get the best finish you can. And you know, it's not what we wanted for Valvoline or Toyota, and you know, but we only lost a few points to Eric, and you know, we'll go get them at I think we'll go to Chicago next. And
that's right.
You know, that's I love Chicago. You know, it's the title in town, right?
So Todd Bodine can't get 3 consecutive wins, but I think he'll take a 216-point lead in the championship with 9 races to go. And he must be sharing the knowledge, because teammate Miguel Paludo able to get his first career start here tonight in a top 10. You were great.
Yeah, it was awesome. I appreciate all the work, all the support of Stanko Darlington Toyota Tundra. and the team put the truck in 1 week together. So I'm really proud of all these guys, and I'm happy, man. I'm really happy. We got a tight truck, a loose truck, a lot of different trucks in the race, but you can imagine how happy I am.
You know this place is difficult, right? It's not top 10 every time out.
Yeah, every person who I talked with said, why Bristol? Why Bristol? It's tough, but it's perfect. I'm real happy, and it's a team effort. Germain Racing did a great job. I'm real happy.
It's great to have you here. Great effort on your first night. We look forward to seeing you the rest of the year, a few more starts, and perhaps full-time next season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Miguel Paludo, a top 10 run. Very solid at Bristol.
And we're glad that the fans in Brazil are watching us here on Speed. We heard from Miguel. He said, oh, yeah, they're watching the truck race back in Brazil. We take a look at our Edge Products unofficial results. Kyle Busch getting another win in the Camping World Truck Series.
And remember, because of the caution coming out when it did, NASCAR will review all the tapes to determine the proper finishing order. We heard Tabodain just say that he finished 6th. Unofficially, he's being shown in 5th, so we know this could possibly change, but as he mentioned, he's not going to lose a whole bunch of points to Eric Almirola.
That's pretty much it there. Maybe move Justin Lawson up to the top 5 and Todd down to 6th. That's what it looked like, but great recovery for Mike Skinner. He pitted later than everybody else, got up to 4th spot. Obviously, Hornaday problems early. Look at these runs here. I love seeing Dennis Setzer up in 12th. Bobby Jr. had a good run. Max Pappas wrecked on the last lap, but had a good solid night.
He had a top 10 going too till he got wrecked on the last lap. And Austin Dillon, with all his problems, ended up with the 15th place finish.
David Starr and Ken Schrader involved in that big hit.
Elliott Sadler obviously battling for the win late, trying to get around the 2nd place truck of Timothy Peters, make the contact. His night ends with a 26th place finish.
A couple guys making their first start in the Camping World Truck Series, and not the finishes that they were hoping for. Kyle Busch, though, hoisting the trophy, hoisting the hardware once again at Bristol Motor Speedway. 3 wins in a row for that smiling young man. A crazy night at Bristol Motor Speedway. Ended up almost being a fuel mileage night for Kyle Busch.
Well, that's because these guys push the envelope so hard. They're going to pit on lap 30, knowing they can run about 150 laps under green, but they're going to count on a whole lot more of caution laps to get to the finish.
Our first attempt at a green-white checker. Here is Kyle Busch coming to the white flag. He crosses the stripe. You see the accident behind him, and then watch as the yellow lights there start to come on. That's why Kyle Busch is the winner of this race.
Yeah, if those yellow lights come on before he gets to the start-finish line, as we get another view of the incident here, watch Matt Crafton get in the back of Austin Dillon. Remember, Austin was a couple laps down. Matt was racing the 9 of Max Pappas, 4 position there. They make contact, and that's what starts this last lap incident.
Here comes Austin Dillon to explain to Matt that he wasn't happy with how Matt raced him. Matt was on the lead lap, Austin wasn't, but nevertheless, you know, Matt said he didn't mean to knock Austin out of the way. Well, it certainly looked like he did. I mean, he hit him 3 or 4 times, and when they got out of the trucks, the teams all came to make sure that there wasn't any extracurricular activity on pit road.
And there's Austin going over to explain it to Matt before he gets out of the truck. And
now the crews are going to get involved and say, get away from us. We got this all figured out.
That's Matt's crew chief, Bud Hafley. They're just telling us, hey, just go on away. We'll talk about it at a later date.
But that defines it.
Yeah, I was
right
going to say, world's fastest half mile, you make decisions very quickly, and sometimes they aren't the right decisions.
Well, just think about Elliott Sadler's decision. He had a run on Timothy Peters, and he thought for a second he could squeeze in that place. Well, he couldn't. There wasn't room. But he was just racing that hard, and as he looks back, he'll probably say, you know, probably shouldn't have tried to fit in there. But then look up, world's fastest half mile. Things happen so quickly here.
Well, and we heard from Matt Crafton, who was involved in that accident. Now let's hear from another player in that incident. Standing by with Adam Alexander is Austin Dillon.
Austin Dillon making his debut at Bristol, and I guess in many ways you learned the hard way about Thunder Valley. Very upset after the race, so take us through what happened there at the end and your comments with some of the other drivers.
You know, the start of the race just didn't go our way. We got collected in a wreck, and that wasn't what we wanted, but the guys did a great job of fixing the truck and keeping us running. I mean, we didn't have nothing for anybody there at the end, but Crafton wasn't racing for a position either. I mean, I know he was on the lead lap, but the lead lap trucks were plenty far ahead of him. He just drove me off in the corner and kept pushing me, and at a certain point, I can't save it. I feel real bad for Max Pappas and Dennis Setzer. I mean, they had good trucks, and the Truck Series needs as many people as they can in the Truck Series right now, and for him to go and tear up a bunch of trucks there at the end for nothing, I mean, I don't know what it was for, but we'll keep going. It was a decent night for the way it started. 15th and bad for the Bass Pro Shop Chevy.
Austin Dillon, another learning experience tonight here at Bristol.
Take another look at the point standings. Again, 216 points. Now this is the second largest lead with 9 races to go in the series history. Hornaday led by 220 points last year.
And he won, by the way.
And he did end up
Still
winning.
a lot of racing to go, though, right, guys?
Ron Hornaday moves up from 6th to 5th, and he's standing by with Adam.
And he does so on a very eventful night. Ron, you had some issues early, rallied back, and end up finishing 3rd. Take us through an interesting night for your team.
First of all, I got to thank Kroger and Tide to let me drive that fine ride. It was fast. Chevrolet really, it was fun. But no, I don't know. I don't know. I was just asking Corelli if the 12 got loose or whatever, but I was underneath him, like he diamonded it, come across my nose. You know, I was plenty of room. I mean, there was like 5 trucks up against the wall, basically where we hit, and took the nose and turned the front end and made the thing loose, and I hit the inside wall. But the guys rallied back and made it pretty good, and great calls in the pits, good changes, and it was just fun to drive up through there. But this thing deserves to get in victory lane. I mean, that looked pretty cool, the Tide ride. I don't know how to do the icky shuffle, but I'd have tried.
You look good in orange, by the way.
I'll tell you, I really appreciate Tide coming aboard. It was a lot of fun running the colors. I'm sure that you got to see me on TV. You couldn't not see me, but a lot of fans here, and I got to thank them also for coming out.
They certainly knew he was here tonight, Rick.
Yeah, an impressive run. He was pushing it toward the end of that race because he was trying to get every position he could get.
Yeah, he can't do the icky shuffle, and Darrell can't either, and that didn't stop Darrell, did it? Remember that mess?
Let's go back to Adam.
Eric Almirola kind of came from nowhere to get the runner-up finish tonight, and finally you can gain a few points on Bodine.
Yeah, finally. Man, we had a good truck tonight. I was down in the dumps all day because we didn't have any speed. It just ran the same speed. It never went faster, it never went slower. It just ran the same speed no matter what we changed. So it did the same thing again tonight when we took off for the race. We started 19th, and we run the same speed, and everybody seemed to fall back and come back to us. And then Richie made a great call there at the end of the race to come and get 4 tires with like 50 laps to go, and tires were really big. It seemed like a lot of people were getting really loose off. So great call by him to get our Graceway Pharmaceuticals truck back up front. And man, the race was just so much dictated by what line you restarted in tonight. The outside was the place to be, and if you got stuck on the inside, you could really lose a lot of spots. So really proud of all the guys on this Graceway Pharmaceuticals team and everybody at Billy Blue Motorsports. They built that truck in about 2 weeks after we destroyed one at Iowa and then another one at IRP. So they've been working some long hours, and I'm really, really proud of them, and this finish they deserve.
See you in Chicago.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You know, Rick, what's interesting is the same guy that made that call for Eric Almirola to pit with 50 laps to go for tires is the same crew chief that won the last 2 times here by pitting on lap number 30 to 40.
You got to be fluid. You know, you got to make moves. You got to make changes. You can't just say, I'm going to pit now. It depends on how your truck's running. And they saw they need to do something different tonight.
Well, this show moves to Chicagoland next Friday night, 8:30 Eastern is the time for the show for the Camping World Truck Series. That's the next stop. Hard hits here in Bristol, but it was an impressive performance for Kyle Busch once again, coming from the back to the front, 3 in a row from Bristol Motor Speedway in the Camping World Truck Series.
Next week, the Camping World Truck Series heads to the Chicagoland Speedway. Last year, Kyle Busch won the inaugural race for the trucks in the Windy City. With the points race heating, in whose favor will the wind blow this time? Chris Devoto hosts the setup starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by flag-to-flag coverage, only on Speed.